show is for adults, by adults, using adult language, role-playing adult situations and possible controversial topics. No situations or topic reflects the views of the Dungeon Master or the players in real life. You have been warned. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Hey, Zarius.
Hello? Who's that?
I'm that terribly creepy villain you've been working on.
Oh!
I had some thoughts about some terribly overpowered abilities that I could use against your players as they fight wave after wave of my seemingly endless minion horde.
That sounds really fun, but I don't know where my notebook is right now for my dungeon notes.
You fool! You should be using World Anvil.
World Anvil? What's World Anvil?
World Anvil has everything you need to start creating and building
Really?
your world. You can upload maps, make character or villain profiles, timelines, update world lore, and much, much more.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna have to definitely sign up for... Why are you laughing like that?
Followers to watch me play my video games. Screen to you.
And we are here.
Yay!
Yay!
Mostly.
Mostly.
Oh. Yeah. We'll get rolling.
Others are digging in so they can play underground.
Jesus Christ, Aegon, your microphone's so loud.
Yeah, we've already been through this.
Oh my god.
Yep, he's going
There,
down.
I will lower it again. Here. Is that better?
So I'm just noticing in Kyle's chair, using my imagination, I can see two things. One, I can see the llama from the Emperor's New Groove, and two, I can see one of the automated soldiers of the Trade Federation sitting in that chair. Roger.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway,
Good imagination.
anyways, we pass it over to our mistress of ceremonies to start the show.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 16, or Sweet 16, episode of Vow of the Keepers. As always, we like to remind you that we are proudly sponsored by World Anvil, which has everything you need to start creating and building your world. You can sign up for free and get started right away at worldanvil.com, and you can also join their Discord at the links that are over in chat, which should be that way because of the remembering effect. And we also always like to extend our thanks to Roll20 for their generous support, which provides us with a pro account and core books so that I can give you guys something to look at other than beautiful faces. Okay. So picking up where we left off, the party had packed up, having not necessarily found their way to one of the pillars, but feeling confident that the cultists haven't either, and that it's at least safe for the time being. They've decided to move on and see if they can track down some of the other ones. That's kind of the vibe I was getting anyway from our group O people. So they have packed up their time here in Vinewood and hit the road bound for UMLOT, the capital of Forge Hearth. So we'll be picking up the session here on the road again.
On the road again.
Just don't sing the song.
You're welcome.
DMCA'd. Oh yeah, so we are on the road. Do you have goals, things that you want to do along the way, conversations you want to have, knees you want to break? I don't know. You guys tell me.
I do have a message ready that I am going to, as we start traveling, I'm going to use my Scroll of Non-Detection and that last Scroll of Sending that I bought for the extra price.
Mm-hmm.
So I will send that to you as soon as I find where I put it. Other than that, no, I'm cool.
Lucy is gonna keep to herself during the long road. just keep an eye on the road so that nothing ambushes them or anything. But she's gonna stay silent.
Shelly, before we leave, will go ahead and pick a random color and resummon Gwen as a bird.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna go back to Meryl Cheap.
Always a good option.
Yep. My pirate. Pirate parrot.
Oh yeah, I didn't say it last game, but Lucy is not wearing plate. She is back to wearing her mail armor. Just thought I'd say that out loud.
Mm-hmm. Packed it up, tucked it away in one of the bags of holding for safekeeping. And we are, so as a reminder, where we're going here. You've got a couple of days worth of travel to get where you're going. Do you want to use the major, like, travel roads, the trade routes, or do you want to try to shortcut through a couple of smaller towns and the forest that surrounds it?
I think what we decided last time is that it would be ultimately faster to just go around on the roads.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
less trouble.
a bit more predictable.
Yeah, just stay on the roads and maybe hit up a town or two that we come across on the road somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's a couple days worth of travel to get to UMLOT, which is up here, the P that's under the H in Bortarth. Okay, we'll keep an eye on you. So you hit the road, working your way down. You travel a few miles out from Vinewood, making your way back through that sort of low-lying plains that you came in through and out to the major trade routes. And we are gonna go ahead and okay. So, this is me consulting my tables. So you are on the road. Trying to read and multitask is not working so well. Okay, we'll deal with that. I'll get you something back. So you are on the road. You're working your way through the trade route. A few hours of travel. Nothing overly eventful going on. A few lightly cloudy skies throughout the day.
Wait, we get clouds inside the dome?
Yeah, it's big enough that there's still naturally occurring weather.
Oh, okay.
It extends over like a continent. There's still enough going on inside
True.
to get some kinds of natural weather. And there's clouds outside the dome too. It'd be like dome cloud on
The
the outside.
dome is unaffected to weather, but everything else.
So we
Luckily,
just
there
need to
is no
turn into
weather
a
dimension.
cloud and we can get outside the dome. Got it.
There
Yeah,
is a
yes.
spell for that.
There is a spell for that, but
But only unintelligent clouds are allowed to leave. So only barbarians turned into clouds can leave.
And Finnegan.
Yeah.
Slightly more intelligent than a barbarian. Slightly.
you have to succeed a low int check.
Succeed a little.
Well,
Fail at
too bad
DC
Gaddafi
5.
isn't here.
His int isn't awful. He's not an idiot.
No, but you always
Fair
roll the
call.
most terrible int checks ever. Anyway,
Yeah. It's only a
We're
plus
traveling.
one.
So as this carefree day of travel carries on, out of nowhere, Lucy hears in her head a message from her father
Oh shit.
that is effectively like, you have been on this island for weeks and we have not heard a single word from you, miss. We've been worried sick and you couldn't even check in. Like, just, you're getting
She's getting her
you're getting
ass
chewed out,
chewed on.
basically. Yeah.
Perforated.
Okay, everybody who would happen to be looking at Lucy will see her visibly flinch. Like, oh, why now?
Lucy,
Why?
you, what's wrong? Look like Silverhawk just broke through the barrier.
You get a glare from Lucy. It's nothing.
Are you
Uh,
sure? You're not
you
keeping
get the-
secrets from me, are you, Lucy?
No, of course not. That would be unbecoming of me.
Insight check.
Okay. Well,
Finnegan
do you want to say anything back, or are you just gonna like quietly let that window close and just pretend like it didn't come through?
Who, me?
Yeah. You can reply to his chewing of your ass. Comes out. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. She will reply with Swift. I've been busy. Things are going unexpectedly. We'll keep in touch. I'll send you a letter explaining more later. Promise. Love you.
Okay.
Promised.
And roll
sold me.
deception for whether or not Zar can tell that you're full of crap.
It's only a plus.
Finnegan instinctually knows what sarcasm is, so he already knows
Yeah.
it's sarcasm.
Yeah. So yeah, you can tell straight away that whatever's got her bothered is showing on her face quite clearly.
All right, Lucy, it's good. Because we did promise no secrets, so I'll trust you. No, it's fine. I will trust your honesty at all times, Lucy, because I know you would never lie to me. And I'll just kind of like turn away from her a little bit.
You're full of. I will perhaps talk about it later, but it is personal matter. For this once, I need to deal with it alone.
Yep.
Nothing bad.
Okay.
She rolls her eyes. He's still being a petulant child to her.
Child, that's just rude.
She didn't say that aloud. I'm saying that out of character.
Remember, Lucy got mad at Czar because he didn't tell her that his full name was longer than just Czar.
She's just like, it's what her character is, dude. I'm playing her right.
He's just showing a little bit of the same back.
Yeah, but she's mad about what transpired yesterday. But yeah.
So you can continue traveling throughout the day. Aside from the sending that dropped in on you, things are fairly uneventful. You come up on what, towards the end of the day, where you start to wind down travel, and you were hoping to come across like an inn or a tavern or something to bed down in, and all that you find is what appears like rubble, something to that. There a little bit of foundation and a whole lot of charred wood.
Oh, fun.
Where what looks like it may have been an inn used to be, there is now just a big stack of not recent, but within a reasonable-ish time frame of bonfire. It's not like a
Would you
decades
say
old
a
ruin.
Would you say a bordello was burned down?
Oh my god.
In your words, is that what you're saying? A bordello was burned down?
No, it is not a house of ill repute, as far as you know.
Is it still smoldering, or is this a bygone issue?
Bygone, but within maybe the last couple of days or so. It looks fresh-ish. It's not like a decades-old burned down inn. It's somewhat within the recent.
How much do you want to bet there's a new Elias Inn that popped up somewhere around here?
Gotta murder your competition.
2 inns enter, 1 in leaves.
So just for the sake of being thorough, Shelly will go ahead and do a detect magic sweep real quick, and then suggest just camping because beds aren't going to be a thing.
Well, I mean, plenty of wood, I suppose, and hey, you can stock up on some plain old charcoal.
Oh god. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this would be it'd be a great place to find charcoal. Just, over the dead bodies of whoever was possibly in these buildings.
It's alright, it gives a little bit of extra magic flavor.
So
Colored
you
chalk.
do a scan with detect magic, and you don't pick up anything in the immediate vicinity.
Lucy's probably gonna look out for an area for them to lay, not too close to the road, but close enough so that if anything happened, they can just like hop on the horse and go.
Sure. So who's going to take watch as you bed down for the evening?
Zar will take first watch.
Okay.
I'll be in there somewhere.
I will take last watch.
Okay. There's our trio for the evening, and let's go ahead and get perception checks from the 3 of you for your watches. See if anything overly interesting happens.
Hey, there's my good roll of the night, guys.
I always forget to turn off
That's
whispers.
my terrible roll.
Player.
First terrible roll of the night. That's my first.
Okay. Let's see.
So I would like to actually spend my time while on watch gathering up charcoal, which I will present to Shelly when I wake them up for their watch.
Okay. So, not overly intensive labor, but you just kind of light activity, pick up what happens to be kind of scraps or laying around kind of a deal.
Mhm.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So you're fairly well attentive. You're a little bit of distraction going through the charcoal and stuff, but for the most part, you're on the ball. And it seems pretty quiet. It's a little, it's just kind of a quiet night for you. The as you're going through the rubble of the inn, you do come across a few leftovers of people who were inside as you're kind of picking through for your charcoal.
As I'm looking at the leftovers of the people, can I check the bones to see if maybe they had been killed or burned alive? If they'd been hacked up with a sword, there'd be notches and stuff in the bones and stuff like that. But wondering if there's any way I could tell if they died in the fire or died and then fire was to cover it up, kind of thing.
Make an investigation check,
Okay.
or maybe survival check, or
Survival
medicine
or
check
medicine.
would probably be a
Okay.
one of those 3. If you're just looking for obvious signs versus if you're trying to medically
11.
cause the death. So you're not really sure if the fire was meant to cover it up or if it was some sort of incidental accident, knocked over an oil lamp kind of a thing. But you do see some chunks and gashes and things in some of the bones.
Okay. I'll just kind of. Yeah, I don't want Lucy to see this, so I'll kind of cover up the remains the best I can, the most respectful way that I can, without disturbing them too much.
More wood and fallen debris on top of them to hide them.
I mean, there's nothing I can do for him now. All right.
The rest of your watch goes by pretty uneventfully. You're pretty sure you've got probably a couple castings worth of charcoal for Shelly. Just kind of guesstimating from seeing them cast it once or twice. They're
Jesus
like,
Christ.
kind of.
Okay.
But aside from that, things go by. And
Alright.
eventually, you tag out for Shelly. You wake Shelly up. Shelly takes over.
Shelly, good morning. I got you this. I hand you the charcoal.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice of you.
You're welcome. There's a bunch of dead bodies over there, and that have been burned up. Quite a ghastly scene. I kind of covered it up. I really don't want Lucy to see it because she can be really sensitive to certain types of things. So, maybe we just shouldn't talk about it, or I mean, unless you're going to go check it out too, and you find out something else. But yeah, anyway, good night.
Yeah. Good night.
So, Shelly, you take over watch. It's relatively quiet. You don't pick up any kind of, rustling of leaves, breaking of branches, any of that kind of stuff. It seems like a pretty chill, quiet camping night for you guys. You going to follow Czar's suggestion? Or are you gonna just kind of let it sit?
I kind of want to just kind of go take a glance over at like where the door would be, and make sure that there's no like chains or something that would indicate foul play.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
you can,
like that they might have chained the door shut and then lit the fire intentionally or something like that. Just to,
Gotcha. So you go over and you're kind of like just sort of tracing the edge of the foundation. You find what you would guess is probably a gap for like a back door or a kitchen entrance of some kind. And there doesn't seem to be any kind of chainage in that vicinity.
Okay. And I don't want to stay away from everybody else for very long when I'm supposed to be keeping them safe, so I will just head back and do my watch.
Okay. Rest of watch goes by pretty uneventfully. You don't pick up on anything of particular interest or threat, and you tag in Kinley.
Tagged in.
Hi. I'm going back to bed.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And Kinley, you take over, and you're looking out into the distance, kind of keep eyes peeled, ears open, listening for stuff. Your watch goes by uneventfully, but what you failed to notice are the like pale yellow eyes in the bush that were watching you during your watch.
Okay.
If only you had rolled higher, you would have known that they were there, but you didn't. So
If only.
I mean, just for dramatic effect, why would you tell us such a thing? That something's there, but we don't see it.
But you don't see it because it's ominous now. You know that it's there, but you don't know that it's there.
Well, I didn't know I was there because I was still non-detected.
Yeah.
I think that's only magical detection. I'm pretty sure people can still see
Can still
you.
see you.
Like
I'm
using
invisible.
it's like using the incognito tab on your Google. It just it doesn't stop people from looking over your shoulder.
No. Czar has mastered
Wait,
the power. He
does
casts
it?
non-detection, takes off all of his clothes, and he moves so slowly that no one can see him.
Yeah, that's not how invisibility works. But
I've totally been using private browser at work. Shit.
so morning comes, you wake up, the rest of the party, have some breakfast, pack up, and head on down the road. Unless you would like to further about and investigate and things of that sort, which you are welcome to do. But otherwise,
I'd probably go over and talk to Shelly. Did you find anything last night? Did you go look?
I kind of kicked around the outside of it. Didn't really see anything. I think we should probably keep our eyes out for like any patrols or anything for like guards to let them know to come and handle it, because like I'm sure that the people would probably like to know that their loved
Yeah.
ones are not coming home.
I mean, are we still in the Valley of Inspiration? Have we moved into Fortroth? I mean, the
Man.
map really doesn't say, and it's not like signs posting now leaving Valley of Inspiration.
I'm gonna be super honest with you right now. I have no clue where we're at. This is so different from where I'm from. It all looks the same.
Well, yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. And I mean, I feel the same way about the ocean. It all looks the same to me, terrifying and wet.
That's fair, and it can be. But I mean, this is all just like trees, 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 trees. There's a tree over there.
You know, I much prefer building with trees. I didn't know if you knew that about me, Shelley, but I'm not an outdoors type person. I'm more of a city streets type person.
I kind of figured.
So, do you think we should tell the others about the bodies, or do you think we should just leave it there and then we tell the guards? We can just be like, oh yeah, guys, we forgot to tell you there were bodies back there. You know, so that we don't end up fighting a fiend or something. And I sort of side glance over toward Lucy, and she can't hear me, so she can't chide me for it.
So here's the thing, right?
She's ignoring you anyways.
The question is, I already forgot what the question was. That's me and my actual scatterbrainness. I had an idea and then it's gone. It's gone. No, like we can I remember now. What's the deal with Lucy? Like, why are you worried about her knowing? Like, is this like we're gonna have paladin tears, or is it like we're gonna have to go find whoever did this, or?
Yes.
Yes. Both. All of it.
I think probably the worst case scenario and everything we could think of would probably be her reaction. Oh no, look at the bodies. We need to bury them all and do burial sacraments. We need to search the whole area and find out who did this. It was probably a fiend, so you know, let's go divine check everyone in sight and let's just go and get where we're going.
I mean, to be honest, like, if there is something that we can do, it might be nice to do it.
It's true, but how often has anything ever we've tried to do nicely worked out in our favor?
I mean, not since I met you guys.
Exactly. You know, I kind of feel, you know, like this is one of those. There's a monastery of singing monks that we haven't heard from for a while, and I saw this really strange elf kind of thing, and I'm on a very good track record of not leading us down a path of investigation that's trying to get us killed. So I would not like to break that here on the road to Forton.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's nice to be safe for ourselves, but what about the people who we could be saving? Like, isn't it worth their lives? Like, what about those poor monks that are all stuck up there, probably getting eaten by yetis now because we couldn't
Oh, they've
save
already been eaten by the yetis. I assure you. Either that or Becky's done turned them into her little playthings. But I look. If we don't survive to do what we need to do and stop these cultists, a lot more people's gonna die than whoever burnt down this inn. So I don't see why we should be taking the unnecessary risk of putting ourselves in more danger than we're already in, when apparently we're so important to, you know, the whole world not in.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple days at least since this all happened, but I mean, we could at least do a little, like, say some words or something, right? Like,
And I'll kind of like take a couple steps over there. I'm sorry you're all dead. May you find peace in the afterlife. Rest well, my friends. And I'll look at Shelly. Is that good enough?
I mean, yeah.
All right,
I guess
let's go.
so. Okay.
He's gonna kind of like put his elbow on your shoulder. You know what, Shelly? We do make an absolute famous team.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm making good duos with everybody now, and now we just need to like bring more together and make the duos into like the whole group, and it'll be great.
You know what? I agree. And if we're ever caught somewhere and starving, I think we can all agree we eat Finnegan first.
Well, there's not much of him. I could probably find something better than that.
Well, I mean,
Nothing else. We got jellyfish.
that's true. And you would be surprised at what, my background and whatnot, what I can make soup out of. So there's more Finnegan to go around than what you think.
All
and
right.
we'll return to the group.
Yeah.
Super, super awesome. Love it. So good. So what is the plan here? Are you gonna leave? Are you gonna say some final words? You gonna investigate? Like, you guys were talking amongst yourselves, but you didn't really come to like.
I gave my eulogy. I gave my eulogy, and Czar will suggest that we get back on the road and keep moving.
Yep.
Okay. So you move on down the road.
Every now and then, as we're going, I have Meryl do a flyby and look through her eyes to make sure that we're not surprised by
Okay.
travelers.
Sure. Do a perception check for that.
Sure. Is that me or her?
That would be her, unless you're specifically. Oh no, it would still be her. It's her regardless.
Woo.
Very nice. Okay. So what? Well, that actually changes things a little bit here. So you start moving on down the road after maybe an hour or two of relatively low traffic. With the state of things with the dome and everything, people are kind of hunkering down in place a bit. They're not traveling as freely as they had been just because they're not really sure what the hell's going on. So the travel route's a bit quieter than it would normally be for a route this substantial.
Regional distancers.
Yeah. So you wasn't how I meant it, but yeah, basically. Yeah. And like I said, after about an hour or two, you notice in close coming up the road towards you is a horse.
A falconer on top of it.
Nope. Just a horse, no rider, but its saddlebags look like they are jam-packed with stuff. Like the horse is loaded down, but it is galloping full speed towards you guys.
You don't see that every day.
As it's like
Yeah.
getting close and getting ready to go kind of around you / through you a bit, Meryl notices off in the distance further down the road is what looks like middle-aged gentleman in spellcastery attire, robes and a staff, attempting to haul ass down the road in the same direction as the horse.
Try to catch it.
Oh, wonderful.
We're on horses, right?
Yes, you guys are traveling by horseback, or that's been my assumption. So, because you picked,
feet of me.
it will be within a few seconds.
I use foot freeze on it when it's within that range.
Oh,
God, gonna break
Oh.
its legs.
On a
Poor
real
thing.
horse?
Poor horse.
Its feet may stop moving, but the rest of it probably won't.
oh, are you
Gonna do.
horse?
I don't. We're gonna.
What kind of fucking druid are you?
Here I was thinking maybe like calm animal or something.
I don't have that.
I was gonna have Lucy just try to grab the bribe and like stop it.
Yeah, you could have like animal handling check to grab the reins, or dexterity
Yeah.
check to jump on the horse, or
I assume foot freeze is not instantly freeze, it's a frost, so it should slow them down to reduce their speed to 0. Because it doesn't say, it just says if the surface is immovable, the creature's speed is reduced to 0. They can't physically move immediately. I don't plan on breaking anyone's legs.
Okay, I'll fix it.
we're gonna see how that goes.
We shall see.
So, what winds up happening is you cast foot freeze on it, but you haven't gotten a ton of experience with this particular spell just yet. So it doesn't hit all 4 feet in time. It just sort of like grinds a foot and a foot to a stop, and the other ones keep going, and it sort of tumbles over on its side and takes a bit of a spill.
Aw.
Because it just sort of like and took a bit of a tumble.
I'll dismount and go up and try to calm it down and see if it needs any kind of healing.
Zar's just gonna kind of like point at it with like this confused look on his face, and his mouth kind of gaped open, like, what?
Lucy is gonna stand down from her horse and go check on it. Make sure it's alright, because... Aw.
Yeah, so it's not substantially hurt. It's mostly shaken up from the tumble and the fact that its feet randomly stopped working like as expected. It's just sort of a side effect of, so far you've been mostly practicing on 2-footed things, so switching to 4 it was a bit cumbersome for you and you didn't quite nail it. So it took a bit of a
I
tumble.
was a genius at what I'm doing.
And the contents of the saddlebags have kind of like splattered out across the road. You see a lot of miscellaneous spell components and a few scroll tubes and things of that sort that would sort of match up with what you got relayed from Merrill real quick. And within the time it takes you to stop and dismount and go over and start doing some basic first aid, eventually a very, very winded, very tired looking mage catches up and it's just thank you.
I take
I
it
would-
this is your horse.
Yes. Oh god. Is he okay? How did you stop him?
I believe-
He tripped.
Oh,
Yes.
got lucky. I don't know if I would have caught him if that hadn't happened. And you see, like his first priority is the horse. He notices everything's kind of splattered across the road, but it also looks like you guys haven't started picking any of it up either. So he's going over and checking on the horse, making sure that like none of the legs are broken, all the muscles look good, all that kind of stuff. He's like, oh.
Yeah, let me help you with that. I'll start picking up the items. Can I tell what kind of scrolls these are from the outside? Are they labeled?
Let's check on that.
They're color coordinated.
Yeah.
Don't touch the black ones.
There's-
They're death.
There's sticky notes all over the sides of them.
There's a few of them that have symbols engraved in the side that seem to indicate the school of magic they belong to, but they're not explicitly labeled what does what.
Oh, look, your horse has dropped your spell scrolls.
Yes, thank you. And he reaches out for it. Starts kind of collecting some of the miscellaneous components and things. So there's a few broken jars and some vials that have splattered liquid and things like that, and he's a little disappointed. This stuff, but everybody's okay. We can always replace stuff.
Would
Lucy's
it be
gonna help him pick
possible
up stuff.
to use shape water to try to cause some of these things to go into other vials?
You can give it a shot. You're not 100% sure how well it's going to work on some of of the non-watery materials. Some of them are like oil-based components and things like that, but you can give it a shot.
Do you have any empty vials and potion bottles? I might be able to help. Maybe. Probably not, but I'll try.
I think I've got a couple in here. He pulls out like 2 or 3 that he still that didn't break and then they had spare. Yeah, that's it. You weren't 100% sure how well it was going to go, but it looks like you managed to get a few of them pulled out of the ground and drop it into the vial for him.
You can sell this one with it with the note that it has a slight earthy tone and maybe get a couple extra gold.
Oh my god.
I'll be sure to inspect it and make sure that it's still functional as a component. But yeah, I'll take that under advisement. I appreciate that. You didn't have to go to all that trouble. Just, I mean, you saved my horse and a lot more running. So that's already done plenty.
So how'd your horse get away from you to begin with?
I stopped for a bit of relief, and the knot must have slipped on. I didn't tie it well enough to the branch, and it just often I don't.
Yeah.
You know how those go sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I don't wear pants.
One of many reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just makes things faster, easier.
Yeah.
I'm glad we can assist you. Should give you a fair bit of warning. We did run across a burned down inn about a couple hours back that way. Not exactly sure what happened or what caused it, but always good to keep your eye out for trouble.
Oh,
And also plan for camping in the woods, because there's no beds.
Oh. Oof, that's unfortunate. I was hoping to get a break from camping. Well, I appreciate that. I will definitely stay on alert. Have you notified anyone yet? Do you think anyone has?
We've not run across anyone, but if you do happen to run across any guardsmen or patrols, be sure to let them know.
I will definitely do that, yeah.
Because we're going this way, and you're going that way. So one of us should see somebody, right?
Would hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna hand the stuff she picked up to the mage dude.
It needs restuffing all the saddlebags back up to at capacity, and then some.
I do have a question as I was helping pick up these things. Are any of them gold or valuable looking?
There's a few components that would have gold cost consumables, things of that sort. If there were any diamonds in there, they weren't out in the open. They're like bagged or boxed, so you wouldn't know that they're there.
Yeah, I'm not worried about components. I was just looking for obvious, compensation.
Things you can steal from. Got it.
Yeah, it's stuff that you could quietly, 1 for me, 1 for you, 2 for me, 2 for you, kind of a thing. But there's a few basic components and a few things that have monetary costs that Shelly would notice. Braziers and spell casting focuses and the orb that you would need to scry on stuff, which is pretty expensive, and a couple of things like that. Like there's some high-end components in this mix too that he's transporting, you assume, back towards Vinewood, given the.
Right, well, be careful, don't lose your horse again, and what's your name, by the way?
His name is. I have it.
Yeah.
I have it.
Frederick.
Oh my god, no.
No.
This one goes by Rick. The next one
Dave.
just goes by her.
No. His name is Aganorth.
Aganorth.
Yeah, I wonder if he's restocking that place where you bought out all his sending scrolls.
Yeah, Good idea. Do you happen to have any sending scrolls on you?
My God.
I believe I do, but I'm afraid that this inventory is spoken for. I'm just delivering it. You'd have to
Where did you get your merchandise at? I mean, if they're making sending scrolls, perhaps I could stop by there, since I'm in the market for some.
Oh, you would be able to get some in UMLOT for sure. They still are producing a decent supply. They're starting to be a little more tight on their shipments and things in terms of how many they're sending out at a time. But you can still get some. You should be able to anyway. I think. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, you have a wonderful day, Agnos, and be safe out there.
Yes, you too. You too. Safe travels. And
I'll pet the horse and tell it to be good too.
it gives a bit of a. So you part ways with Agnor. He's off.
He was Becky the whole time.
Oh my god.
Obvious.
Everyone is Becky the whole time.
If only you had bonked him with the staff.
Or use divine sense.
I would have murdered somebody. That's awful.
You should just divine sense everybody you see.
Oh,
You
that's
could.
a lot of divine sensing.
I detect magic all the time.
Yeah.
Except this time when it was obviously magic.
But I only have 3.
That's fine, you only get 2 random encounters a day anyway.
Well, I hear that's
You know
a
what?
rule. It's a rule.
What? Just for that now, you're getting like 18.
Woo!
So, saddle up. We're rolling a die a bunch.
Well, I can tell you right now, Agnor has an issue settling up.
He needs training wheels on his horse.
Okay. So you move on down the road, carrying on. Things are going hunky dory, fine and dandy. And you receive. Let me double check the number there.
A disease.
Just
As you're as you're traveling down the road, Shelly, you get a sending from Content that is effectively I hope I'm not bothering you. I haven't received any letters from you in a while, and I just wanted to see how things were going, how things are progressing with your exam thing that you mentioned. Let me know that you're okay. That's
Oh
basically-
no. I would reply that yeah, I have like a whole stack of letters, and this is totally gonna go over time, and they're not even going to realize it. But I can't. I'm in that big fucking dome thing, and I'm going to try to find a way to get messages back to you. Be safe, and I miss you. Bye. Think that's enough letters? Words? Messages? Cool. Okay. Aw.
Fair enough.
I have no idea how many words that was, but whatever.
Yeah, you get the gist of that.
Yeah.
Across. So there are your prescribed 2 random encounters for the day. You're welcome.
Doesn't that make technically 3 with the sending Lucy got?
Actually, it's 4. So the horse and the mage and the 2 sendings. But
Who's
breaking the
counting,
rules.
This is
right? Who's
feral.
counting?
False
Who's really
inflation here.
I am. I have to. I got to keep track of how much shit I'm throwing at you. Not that it's all deadly encounters or anything too perilous.
Yeah.
But you continue on moseying down the road for a few more hours. You eventually find yourselves ready to camp out for another night. You know you're going to, from the maps and things that you have for reference, you know you're going to hit the main crossroads that you're looking to hook a left at sometime tomorrow, but you're going to need to bed down one more night out in the woods here before you make that turn and start working your way up to UMLOT.
Lot.
It is the most delicious town you have ever seen. No. So who is going to take watch this evening?
Lucy
We'll
will
take
go first.
third watch as usual.
Okay. That was Lucy on first.
Yeah.
Shelly, you're going to step into the middle. And
Sure.
then Kinley's going to take last watch again.
Yep.
So let me get perception checks from the three of you.
And while doing your watch, Lucy will finish her letter,
Mm-hmm.
which I have sent you to contact. Oh,
Ooh, everybody's on top of their stuff tonight.
Shelly will also spend some time writing a letter that will go nowhere.
oh Lucy's going somewhere.
Okay. So Lucy, you get out on watch first. Everyone else starts to bed down for the night. There's a small campfire kind of quietly crackling away. Not a huge fire. It's just a little campfire to kind of give you some light to work with. And that's not the right thing. You know, ears open, eyes open, watching out into the surrounding forest off the road and watching the road for any kind of night travelers that may be passing by and things of that sort. You do notice, what is it that you notice? You do notice a few birds are sort of like watching from the edge of the forest. They're just kind of up on the branch, sitting there. Looks like it might just be an owl or something, maybe.
Are they ravens?
But just kind of sitting there watching the party sleep. Not really doing too much, but you could shoo it away if you're overly concerned. But otherwise, watch goes by relatively uneventful, and you give Shelly a knock on the shell
Knock,
to take
knock,
over for
your
you.
turn. It's your turn, Shelly.
Okay, thanks. Have a good sleep.
Okay. Now, when you do watch like this, because I didn't think to ask until just now, do you let Meryl sleep, or do you send Meryl on like extra patrol?
I don't know if Meryl has to sleep.
I'm asking.
That's a good question.
What kind of owner are you?
I mean, I would definitely have her like do an occasional loop just to make sure. Like maybe once an hour or so.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I'm just gonna be sitting and listening while I write
Sure.
or study my spell book or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys are off on the side of the road here, everyone's mostly asleep, things of that sort. A small troop strolls by. It looks like 2 wagons and a couple people on foot strolling around. The wagons are very colorful, ornately decorated, at least as much as you can tell from the bit of light thrown from the campfire. And they just stroll right on by through the middle of the night, give a polite sort of acknowledgement as they do, that letting you know they see you, but they're not looking to cause any trouble.
They don't
When
look
they-
like guards though. It's like
No, they've
circus.
considering the direction of travel and the way the carts are decorated, you're guessing they might be some sort of like traveling entertainment troupe of some sort, maybe.
Okay.
And they make their way on by, and like I said, they give you a bit of polite acknowledgement on the way, just a bit of, we're not looking to start nothing, but keeping an eye on you to make sure that you're also not looking to start trouble. And after a while, they disappear off out of sight, and your watch goes by uneventfully. Beyond that, So you can go ahead and give Kinley a polite shake, 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 shake.
What?
Whoa, bro, you need a toothbrush. It's your turn. I'm going back to bed.
All right.
This beautiful thing called mouthwash. It's like alcohol, but you don't drink
Here,
it. You just
let
sit
me-
a swoosh, swoosh,
Let me
swoosh.
just press your teeth. Okay. It's a
What world do you
Major
think we
cure
live in?
major cure for bad breath. It's,
So you are on watch, having gotten tagged in for the last watch of the evening. Shelly let Kinley know about the traveling troupe and stuff to sort of give the cheat sheet of the night kind of a thing.
All right.
And you are on watch, ears open, eyes peeled, watching out for anything that may be amiss. You notice those same miscellaneous birds sitting in the trees, kind of just hanging out, keeping an eye on things. Not causing any kind of trouble or mischief, they're just sort of chilling out. And you do see Meryl off doing their hourly little scoot around, just sort of doing like a perimeter check kind of thing. In
Okay.
case anything crazy goes on, they'll come in and give you a nudge. And yeah, that is your watch going by uneventfully. Everything's nice and chill, just sort of keeping an eye on things, nothing too bad goes on. And the next morning rolls around and you're ready to wake everybody up and hit the road, hoping to hit the city before too long.
All right. Wake everyone up.
Okay, everybody gets a shake, 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 grab some breakfast,
Morning,
dig into some
people.
rations, fry up some bacon if you got it, all that fun stuff.
morning.
Yep.
And you are ready to hit the road again.
Yep.
Wow, I rolled that one twice. How about that?
That's when you just roll again.
One of the things where like it's a big enough number, it shouldn't really come up too much. Straight through. Anyway, so you travel down the road a little bit, and Meryl's doing flyovers, which make a perception check for that.
I have to click 17 times just to get into her character sheet.
Jeez. So Meryl's doing a flyover and lets you know that you are coming up on someone sitting up on top of a hill to the north of the road that you're traveling east-west on. They look to be like a painter of some kind, possibly.
A
Unless
painter,
they're
huh?
kinda- Yeah, they've
There's
got
a-
like a easel and canvas, and they're sort of painting the landscape up on a hill.
There's an artist up here. Try not to murder him out of boredom.
You get a weird look from Lucy.
I have never murdered anybody out of boredom.
No, I'm just kidding. So you notice that off in the distance there, and or Meryl relays that to you, and you eventually come up on the hill, and you can see that just kind of looking at it based on the height, it's probably a heck of a view for this guy to have come all the way out here to paint this thing. And
Maybe we should go say hi.
I'd rather get to Destiny personally.
It's fair. Duty calls and all that. Duty.
That'll work. That done. This is done. Okay. Trying to keep track of what you're doing and what you're not doing. So you pass on by the painter. He doesn't seem to notice you at the base of the hill. Is just passing along the road. He's off painting and focusing on what he's painting off in the distance, whatever that may be, whatever his vista might be. And you carry on down the road some more, and cross paths with a wagon. It's 2 horses, open cart, kind of a deal, and there's 2 people on the front bench. Bit haggard looking. They've been through some stuff. They're a little just sort of like ragged clothes and hair's all messed up and facial hair's patchy and like they're a bit of a mess. And they pass you by, and you notice as they do so that the back of the cart is full of kids. Just kind of, it's like a pair of benches. They're just quietly sitting on these benches as the cart rolls by.
But they're
How-
not like in cages or anything, right? Like they're just kids, and those
I
are
wanna
probably
make-
their parents.
I want to make a perception on if they have any chains on their legs, arms, or necks.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Can I just have Meryl like fly into the cart to go sit on one of them?
I guess you can invade their personal space.
Just it's a welfare check.
So you do not see any chains, but just as you're like crisscrossing, you faintly hear the rattle of like chains clanking into chains, but you don't see any chains.
Detect magic. Oh wait, I don't know this. Never mind. I didn't say anything.
Um,
Lot.
I know what I want to do. I really do.
Does Finnegan want to do that?
He's gonna lean over to Shelly and Lucy and go, "Hear me out. This could be stupid, but I heard chains from a cart that doesn't have chains."
What?
Because Finnegan wants to cast slow on it.
I'll go ahead and take a look just to see if there's illusion magic or anything at work.
Okay. So you pop detect magic, and you do see a glow radiating out of the cart of illusion magic.
Yeah, there's something weird.
Would you like us to stop them? But then what do we tell them?
Stop in the name of love.
Prepare to die. I don't know. I mean, you got options.
Lucy's kind of like, really?
I'm gonna take the diplomatic approach first. And
How
go,
much for one of these kids? I'm interested in perusing
my
your
God.
merchandise. Like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, he offered to sell his
How
friends
do
for
you
sure.
how do you diplomatically stop this cart?
Could you describe the 2 people in front again?
They're very like haggard looking, tattered clothes, patchy facial hair, very kind of scruffy and soot covered, and they look like a mess. They don't look like they run an orphanage. Would be the short version of that description.
They're still within 60 feet of us, right?
Yeah, all of, like, the hearing the noise and leaning over to you guys was like as the cart's passing, so they're now technically behind you, but still relatively close.
I'm gonna yell to the cart drivers, please pull over!
Bring our horses around.
They have roughly 30 to 40 feet of not making any movement before I cast Sleet Storm in a 40-foot radius around there.
Are you gonna murder the kids?
No,
Probably.
it does no damage.
No, it's creates like ultra difficult
terrain.
and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not a murderer. I'm a controller.
I
So
mean,
depending on the cart driver's reactions of pulling over or not, I may cause the cart to slide into, a ditch or something. Who knows?
So
I'll
you just,
bring Harry Trotter around to go right up behind them.
still love the name of that horse. So you just call out, "Hey, cart driver, stop!" Like that's
Yeah.
what.
Hey, pull
Please.
over.
Cart drivers, please pull over. I must have a word with you.
Start
try-
using Presty to do red blue lights. No, not really. Not really.
Not really, but that would be good. It's a bit of like a bad guy, skinny guy kind of duo, a bit of like a Laurel and Hardy. And the bigger one kind of looks over his shoulder at you, like, "Why should I?"
We must discuss the issue with the children in the back of the cart.
I don't think they're any of your concern. We're transporting them to an orphanage in Vinewood.
See, I would like the kids' opinion on that, if you don't mind.
While this is happening, Lucy will use one divine sense. See if there's anything amiss.
Fiend!
Shut.
You don't detect anything amiss from divine sense.
Okay. No fiend. Ha!
Just regular assholes.
We don't know what's
Or
fiend in
they
there.
could be honest workers that look like hobos delivering children to an orphanage, for all we know.
Yeah, they might be. I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna have difficulty getting there.
Just try not to ruin the cart, because we don't want to make these kids walk.
Hey, it's up to them whether they're pulling over or not. I mean, mine is a reactionary of them. Okay, I'm trying to be nice and ask to discuss their situation, and then I'll brute force their ass.
Okay. Well, they are showing no signs of pulling up on their horses.
Sleep storm.
They're just giving you like, "And you have a nice day now," and they're kind of like giving it a bit of a nudge to kick off a little bit, just a little extra pep in the step, and you cast Sleet Storm. As I said, subtle as always.
I mean,
I'm gone for 20 minutes and we're in combat.
No, we're not.
I don't think subtle is in our job description.
we're in initiative. We're not in combat.
Yeah. So you throw down Sleet Storm. Freezing rain and sleet in a 20-foot tall cylinder with a 40-foot radius, centered on a point you choose within range.
Yeah, it's 150-foot range I could choose from. But I'm gonna do it probably like 10 or 15 feet. Is that radius? Or 40 feet diameter?
It's a 40-foot radius, so it's an 80-foot diameter.
Alright,
It's big.
I will do it like to where like they're 10 feet into the beginning of it. So they have another
70 feet
70
of ice
feet.
ahead of them. I gotcha.
so stop or turn back kind of thing.
Slick ice, difficult terrain, blah blah. Dexterity saving throw where they fall prone, which we're gonna see how that works for the horses here in a second.
What is it with you and horses?
I tell you, it's just brutal.
I've
brutality.
asked the same thing. It's WizKid, not the character. It's WizKid in general.
Are
that
you
has something
mad?
against fucking horses.
Are you mad because they're taller than you?
Probably.
They're taller
It's probably a bit of jealousy.
least he's not cleaving their legs off in this campaign.
Hey, I didn't cleave the legs off. I just threw my halberd at the horse. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same diff.
Just checking.
I'm just saying, both instances, neither one of them stopped. All right. Or reacted. If
Yeah.
they just stop, we don't have this issue.
Dexterity saving throws, which they are not good at. Should've
DC
known they wouldn't be.
15.
Okay. So surprisingly, one of the horses makes a save. The other one does not. Which, since they are all harnessed together, one horse going down is going to substantially hinder the ability of this cart to make a break for it. Which we're gonna make a. Yeah. So it's basically the cart's gonna like fishtail a bit because one horse's legs have iced out and the other one's still trying to get some traction, and the cart's gonna fishtail out and start
Bambi.
to kind of like jackknife the wagon of it. Which that's gonna be okay. The kids spill out, but it doesn't like launch them.
Oh my god.
Thankfully, they just kind of get dumped off as this thing jackknifes and it takes a tumble. The kids kind of get spilled out into a ditch, but they don't look like they've been decimated or anything horrific like that. They just got thrown as it rolled, and the two guys get thrown as well. And
Fuck's sake.
they
As
are
a-
going.
As the kids fall out, I'll holler at Jenny or Shelly. Shelly, children, I got these punks.
Yeah. We really gotta talk about your methods.
Oh,
Head towards
we
the
all-
kids.
That's why I wanted to talk about it, but no.
So the two guys get thrown. They're all bruised and battered. They look even in worse shape than they did before they got thrown. And they get up and they start, yo, what the hell are you doing? What kind of magic is it? This is bull. What is this ice shit? And they're like super pissed, and they're still feigning innocence as best they can. And they're just like, what the hell? Look, you could have killed the kids. They're like, yeah. So
Lucy's gonna
Yeah.
get near the cart and go inspect it while this is happening.
I'm gonna go check on the kids.
Yeah, I'm over with the kids too.
okay.
Shelly's
So
going with the kids,
Kinley and Shelly make their way down to the kids. They're in like an icy ditch, so you need to make dexterity saves for how well you do moving through the icy terrain to get to them. Unless you're gonna drop the sleet storm, they're Finnegan.
Yeah, I don't need it now that no one's on a cart.
Okay, so you drop it and let it
Yeah.
start to melt away.
They'll like complain, what's all this icy shit, and just immediately just disappears.
And they're cursing. Goddamn spellcasters! What the like? This is bull. So they're very indignant. The two of you make your way down to the kids. They look shaken up. For the most part, there's about a dozen of them in total. They were packed pretty tight into this cart. But they are all alive and well. There's a few like scraped knees and bruised elbows and things of
Aw.
that sort. But aside from that, they're all looking healthy. That unfolded relatively fast. So detect magic would still be up. You get like 10 minutes for detect magic, right? So you see the aura of illusion magic, now that they're not all stacked on top of each other in the cart, is basically, it looks like an aura in the shape of a chain link chain connecting their arms and their feet to each other.
Alright,
As though
well,
there was like invisible chains, but you can see the aura sort of outlining them. And Lucy, you're at the cart, and the cart just looks like a cart with just two benches and some rations to feed the kids en route, since it's like a couple days trip to get where they were going.
Alright,
And
then she will go check
these-
on the kids.
Yeah, and the two people that were driving the cart, what's the situation with them right now?
They are alive and well. They're a little bruised and battered like the kids got. And they're pissed and acting like, how dare you tip over our cart? What the hell is this spellcasting bullshit? Why is there ice on the road? Like this, you could have killed. Like they're
I think they might have.
doing their best pantomime of concerned parents
It's all right.
taking care of kids.
So I think they might have broken some fingers on the tumble.
Czar is going to draw his rapiers and invoke giant might and begin advancing toward them.
Okay.
Over his shoulder, I'm like, I told you we should have talked.
In the meantime, Shelly will try to stand all the kids up and usher them out of harm's way.
Well, they're out of harm's way. They're just in a ditch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Better to keep them in a ditch than on the road where the fight's about to go down.
They need this man, so I'm gonna lay in it.
I'm gonna ask the kids like what happened. Why are they chained up?
So the two guys are like backpedaling away from Czar in giant mode, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the hell? Why are you guys coming at us? We didn't do anything. Everything's fine. We'll just tip the cart back over. We'll be on our way. You know, no big deal. We'll just like they're basically letting it go."
So the card does not have anything that would explain the chain noises, Shelly.
I'm gonna call out to the rest of the party. Bruh, I can see the chains.
Oh. On
Stop
the kids?
trying to. Yeah, the kids are all chained up with magic shit.
And I'm sure they don't walk backwards as quickly as I move forwards toward them.
Oh no, definitely not. The kids all seem relatively okay. They were initially promised work in town. It was that kind of a thing. It was a bit of like farmers' kids, and they not quite like a Pied Piper, but kind of ish. They were just like, hey, you know, farming's tough. You come into the big city, there's lots of work for kids. And they were like, yeah, sure, okay. And then all of a sudden they were in illusion chains, and they're just like, oh fuck, or like the little kid equivalent of oh fuck.
And I'd ask them if they're actually orphans or they were just stolen off the streets or.
It was like a quasi-volunteer kind of situation. They sort of went through tiny villages and farm country and sort of promised the kids the big life in the big city, and they were like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan, and then it didn't go so good.
So the kids relayed that information, I guess?
Yeah, that's what you kind of piece out of it over a little bit of conversation, is that, you know, they thought it was on the up and up, and then all of a sudden they were in these invisible chain things, and it didn't sound so hot.
Well,
Paradise Island.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, there's a bit of like a Pinocchio vibe in there.
Well, I guess that is one way of getting on the good side of the people in UMLOT if we bring back their children.
Is it hard to get on the good side of people? Like you just do good things and then people like you?
Well, I mean,
That is
seeing
an excellent
how
question.
it happened in Vinewood?
So during all this conversation, have I closed into melee range with them?
Assuming you're like at a good clip, I'm assuming you're not like leisure strolling.
No, I'm not leisure strolling.
So then, yeah, you would be in melee within that while they're still getting the like Pinocchio story from the kids. You're in melee range, and they're still trying to backpedal away. And
Now, just so you know, I promise not to break any fingers this time, but the rest of your bones are free game.
That's ominous as shit to her ear.
yeah, really.
And I'll sort of flourish out one rapier, and as I do, my cloak kind of flutters open, and my badge is kind of just sitting there, you know, visible.
Mm. And
Show off.
At that point, they're just like, shit, we're screwed. They know that they can't just be like, well, hey, look, we'll give the kids back and everything will be fine, right? Like, just get in the cart and we'll like, oh no, keep the cart, keep the cart. We'll just take one of the horses, half a horse, no horse, we'll walk. Like,
Sit on your hands.
What?
roll an intimidation check real quick.
Okay.
Knowing that the DC is like 1.
Alright, intimidation check.
Just waiting for you to roll a nat 1, and then they try to run away. So they're compliant and just like, yeah, no, you know, trying to do something nice, and they're just they're on the ground and they're on their hands.
So I'm just gonna kind of call over my shoulder. What's the story from the kids?
So how much details did we get out? Just that they were offered work, and then put in chains.
Yeah.
We need a key.
Yeah, I'd
What?
just let you know that they were apparently offered like farm work and stuff, but then found themselves in chains.
Why do you have children in chains on a cot?
Falling off hard.
It just so that way they don't run away or get snatched by anyone else. If they're in chains, then they're safe and secure. It's like a seatbelt.
I was literally just making that joke in chat. How dare you?
I would have called over my shoulder. What do you think? The elbows should go first or the knees?
Keys.
Knees? I put my
Keys.
rapiers, one rapier at each one of their knees.
Oh,
Knees, 4 keys.
Is this a charity case?
No, I said toss me my keys.
Sorry, was that you put rapier to their knees or through their knees?
Pointing at their knees.
At their knees. Okay, I was making sure.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of chatter and I missed
Look,
exactly what you said.
Chili says to go for your knees, which I suppose will work. It won't be fatal, but it's really gonna hurt a lot.
Shelly, can you not dispel this?
No,
You do not have a dispel. Got it.
no, I'm not that good yet.
Do
No.
we have any scrolls that would help us dispel?
I
Do
mean,
we
I'm
use
pretty sure
dispel
that they have
scrolls?
to be able to unchain these kids when they get where they're going, because they're not going to be much good with their hands tied. So they probably have a key.
Well, Zai is hearing what he wants right
Sure they
now.
do.
So.
I'll sigh. How do you unlock the children?
And they kind of quick pack.
Watch your hands. I did tell you to sit on them. Ask permission before not sitting on your hands.
Oh, you want them unlocked? We gotta.
One hand, 2 fingers. Get the key.
These 2 fingers.
They start patting or doing the best they can to look for the key in their pocket with 2 fingers of one hand and like reaching across themselves and and you hear like just sound of a mutter and you got the key. No, I got the. You got the key. No, I got the. Who got the? It might have fallen out of our pocket when you threw us off the wagon. They kind of.
Kinley,
Yes.
do you have any rope?
Always.
We're about to have a couple amputations.
Okay.
What?
He's gonna chop their knees off. It's knees for keys. You get to keep your knees if you give us the keys.
I'm gonna be like, kids, just like close your ears or something.
Yeah.
You guys are just ignore it. I'm gonna
You
go
might
find you a
want-
key.
Sarah's gonna take a deep breath. Stand up.
Lucy's
do.
gonna usher the children a little farther away.
Hesitantly, but they do.
Take off all of your clothes and leave them in a pile at your feet.
Oh my god. All of them?
Cavity search next. Better watch out.
I'm gonna have
I'm not gonna cavity search them.
I have Meryl start doing the flyby looking for keys on the ground.
Jeez.
This went in a very different direction. Very different.
Yeah.
We don't talk to the guy doing painting. Instead, we ambush a cart of slaves.
Yeah, free the slaves.
Different priorities. We're fine.
A cart of restrained
Child
children.
exploiters.
Seat belted in invisible chains. Children.
Yes,
Slave. One of
we're
about
we're,
to be slaves.
you know, they're still pleading their case of like, this isn't as bad as it looks, we swear. As they're stripping down and like trying to nicely fold their clothes in front of themselves, they're just like, no, really, this really wasn't as bad as I know. It seems ill-conceived now, but it really made sense at the time.
All right, Kinley,
Yes.
bring that rope and hog tie them on the cot while I go through their belongings.
All right. We tie them up.
They are fairly compliant. They're giving you a bit of like, is this really necessary? This seems kind of excessive.
I
don't
smack them
really
upside the
like-
head if they start arguing.
Czar brings out the best in Kinley.
Yeah, apparently. They're not like resisting, but they're just kind of
If they're giving me
Ow.
mouth, I smack them upside the head.
okay. So you go through and you don't find it in their pockets. They were being honest. It seems to have gotten chucked out of their in the spill out. It must have fallen out into the ditch or something like that.
Do I find anything else in their pockets?
Let's see. No, you do not.
Hobos don't have stuff in their pockets.
Meryl is flying over looking for shinies in the dirt.
Yeah, which make a perception check for that real quick.
I have so many animals in this list.
Can I cast guidance on Meryl?
If she comes in, if she swoops by and gives you the chance to, yeah. I think so. I feel like that's a doable thing.
Why not?
Come here, Meryl.
Yeah,
Marl.
because it's touch, so she'd have to like swoop in and at least like land on your arm and give her a tap and like, okay, you're guided, go get it.
Here's a good luck charm for you. And I'll like give her a little scratch behind the ear. Because birds have ears.
Sure. Some of them do. Some of them don't. Some of them have the little. It takes a few minutes, a couple of passes, but eventually you narrow it down, and she does spot something that looks like it might be what you're looking for. Shiny metal objects sitting in the ditch.
Alright, I'll have her pick it up and fly it over to me and see if I can unlock the kids by touch, because I can't see them.
Yeah. Well, if you pop detect magic, you can see
Yeah.
the outline from the, and you sort of like,
At least get some kind of clue. This looks like where it might be.
yeah, you kind of give the kids a bit of a twist and a turn, and you're just like, it looks vaguely keyhole-ish, maybe. And eventually you start getting them undone.
Meanwhile, everybody else just sees.
Key going into nothing and over and over again. Once you get through the first like 2 or 3 kids, you start to kind of get a feel for where the keyhole is, and it goes a bit quicker as you go, and eventually you get them all undone.
Make sure you keep those manacles, Shelly. Key. We might need them. Or do they disappear? Are they invisible, like tangible things, or are they just like mystical? And
Oh no, they're tangible. That's how fitting it was.
Okay.
You hear them clanking into each other.
Okay. See, I wasn't here for that, so I didn't know.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Don't think we're gonna let you use them on council members though.
No. Why would
Yeah,
I do that?
I'm not really sure why we need something like this.
We should perhaps see if we can put the cart back on the road, put the kids in, and bring them with us, perhaps.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think we should tie these two to a tree.
No, we should.
I mean, we
Shouldn't
could
be too
just put the chains on them and take them in and hand them over to the guards.
Or,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what I was thinking.
or we could tie them to a tree and put a note above their heads that say, "I chain children, punish me."
No.
No?
I like the idea of
Uh.
perhaps bringing them to the guards and who knows, the rules in UMLOT could be strict about policies about enslaving
fine.
children.
Fine. He's kind of like turned his back to them at this point. He's kind of just giving you guys a grin, like, I wasn't really going to do that, but they don't know that.
Hmm.
So, Mr. Tall Guy, why don't you help get the cart back up? And I'll deal with
Yes.
these guys.
All right, but they're not riding on the cart. They're walking behind it like the scum they are.
Sure.
Got no problem with that.
And I'm going to accidentally like bonk one of them in the head with the invisible chains, like while I'm trying to.
Accidentally. Lucy's gonna help Zara put the cart back on the road.
I just pick it up and set it on the road.
I'm not sure you're that big.
Well, I can at least like pull it over. I mean, I'm like 10 foot tall right now, so I'm pretty big.
Yeah, you're decently big.
Make sure the horse that fell over is okay.
I have become large.
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 Okay.
And
So,
I guess by the time I pulled the cart over, that would fade and I would shrink back down to normal.
yeah. Okay, so you got the cart tipped back over. Are you bringing the kids, sending
Yes.
the kids to get themselves home, bringing the guys, leaving the guys behind,
Taking them all. Putting
taking
the,
everybody?
Well,
putting the kids
But
in the
the guys
carts,
are
tying them to the back of the cart.
We're gonna have an adventure.
I'll drive the cart.
I'll sit with Shelly at the head of the cart.
I'm gonna sit with the kids because we're about the same size.
It's a
I
little,
will-
crowded. The cart fit the 12 of them, but it was a tight squeeze. So adding you in there too wouldn't be super happy, super pleasant.
I will tie Shelly and Lucy's horse off to mine. Finnegan's a good horse. He's the best horse we have. And I'll kind of look over at the kids and don't worry, we'll get you home. Cool. If you're really looking for work in the city, we're heading to one of the big ones. So what you do from there will be up to you.
There's just kind of a general mixed vibe from the kids. Some of them are like they realized what they had stepped themselves into and are really happy that you got them out of it, and some of them are a little wary that they may have just traded one bad for another. It's a little there's a mix across the kids, but for now at least they're coming along for the ride.
As
They're
Lucy sees
at
the
least
meh-
happy to be out of their inviso chains.
As Lucy sees the meh face, she's gonna be like, or we could bring you home. That is, if you could point us out to where your village is.
Once we get to the city, we can get people to take them home. But we're going to the city.
I'll have Meryl sit in the back with them and kind of chirpy
Yeah.
and
Zar's
start singing on the way.
Yeah, and Zar's gonna ride alongside of them and talk to them. He's actually really good with taking care of kids and looking after kids and stuff, so he's actually going to chat them up and tell them outrageous stories and whatnot to help pass the time and keep them in good spirits.
Okay.
And I'll keep watch for other carts of children.
Good plan. Could be
Yeah.
a caravan. You don't know.
Good. And
Good.
we definitely could always use more caravans.
By the way, Finnegan, he's not going to look at you as he says this. Good job catching that.
Glad I could help the kids.
Right,
Go team.
let's get on the move.
Go team!
So you get back on the move. Time rolls into like mid-afternoonish when you reach the crossroads that you have been expecting to find. Looks vaguely that-ish.
Is there a cute golem rolling boulders?
Please, please. I
Is it
want
the
to tame
party?
one.
We need a mascot for our party.
Yes. We
Eh,
just sit him down when we go into battle, and he just rolls stones and like keeps track of who kills what by rolling stones. Yeah.
So you approach this intersection. You do not spot any tiny earth elementals moving
Oh.
small stones around or anything of that sort. What you do notice is that this particular crossroads has signage indicating the location of where the different directions of this road lead, but there's also directions for dozens of places. It's just city, city, town, town, city, town, town, city, village, like all different directions pointing and how many miles it is to them. Some town names you recognize, places you've been, some you don't recognize. You see Sepulveda on there, you see Vinewood, some of the other towns and places that you've noticed on the map and stuff like that. What does catch your eye is the bottommost sign has your name on it.
Whose name on it?
Each of you see the bottommost sign on this post has your name on it. And
Where
then
does
Only our name?
only your name.
Is
And
it pointing at us?
it is each of you see it pointing in a different direction.
What?
But none of you see each other's it's a unique to you. You see the sign with your name on it pointing in a specific direction.
Does it have my full name on it?
It does, yes.
Oh.
There's not like maybe it's some other czar that happens to be called out on it, or maybe it's just like a name of a town somewhere. That would be weirdly coincidental. Like it's very distinctly your name on that sign.
So that last location.
We didn't hear you, Shelly.
I've been muted this whole time because my kid
Oh,
came
no.
back. Which of my names is on it?
Oh lordy.
Your true name, or
God damn it!
That's what happens when you have fake names and real names.
Yeah, you broke the encounter. You broke it.
You
ruined
broke it, man.
You ruined it for
Broke it.
everybody. You just
Game over, man. Game over.
yeah. It because I totally forgot about the whole total thing of like names being a flexible thing. Yeah, that's terrible.
It's all good.
So yeah, we'll say it's the name that you feel resonates most to you.
Okay.
Sure. Alright, that feels
Sure. So-
hand-wavy enough.
So the thing is that does not sound like a town name. And so you guys will all see Shelly's tattoos light up as they cast detect magic.
You from this signpost, you get an aura of like divination-ish magic.
Oh.
Hey guys, this sign's telling me I should go this way.
Mine is telling
no,
me.
it's telling me to go that way.
No, it's telling me to go that way.
And it's telling me to go that way.
Hey kids, which way does this sign tell you to go?
Do they even see the sign we're talking about?
If their name's even on there.
And I'm gonna like walk up to the specific sign that has my name on it to point to the kids, so they'll know which one I'm pointing.
Do we want to spend 10 minutes here?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
worth 10 minutes.
It has my name on it. Can I take
Oh.
it with me?
I'll
No,
sit.
leave it.
Identify.
Okay. Sure. So you ask the kids, as I buy myself time. You ask the kids, and they each tell you a different direction. They're all vaguely in the general like arc of Forge Hearth. So, but it just kind of like it's kind of that way, that way, that way, that way. Like they're just all pointing in slightly different angles of directions.
And does it say your name?
Uh-huh.
I can't read.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be
What
able
does it say? How do you spell it?
That's good. I have to remember to cover my butt with that in the future. They can't read. They're illiterate. Oh, darn it! Doesn't that suck?
Are you trying to say just because they're farm people they can't eat?
No, because
Maybe
they're
they're
children.
just young.
That's just poor lack of parenting right there.
That's what. So anyway, you cast Identify on this, and okay. You don't get a whole lot of information out of this. Whatever this is, it's some kind of artifact type object of some kind.
Oh shit.
Oh,
For that bonk it.
how
Sorry, I get-
far?
Face with a cat toy,
Sorry.
so.
It's artifact, but you don't get a lot from it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Identify kind of falls short for an object like this.
So, it's pretty powerful. What do we want to do with it?
Like more powerful than my
Me?
bonking stick.
Don't
More
bonk
powerful
the
than me?
artifact with the other artifact.
Let's not go bonking artifacts.
We need that
The sign?
for the tree. No,
No,
for the
the
tree.
Sword.
No.
I mean,
Do
if I
we-
bonk it once, I still have 6 more bonks.
How far from Forge Hearth are we?
You're gonna need to camp one more time before you get there.
Okay, does it say certain distance? You say it says different distance for all the other signs. Does it say a distance for our name?
No, for the ones with your name on it, it just points in a direction.
Do any of your signs point in the direction of UMLOT?
Do they?
Does Lucy?
Is there a sign that says umlaut?
There
Yes,
is
do any
there
of our-
is definitely a sign that says unlock.
And do any of our signs point in somewhat the same direction?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. So I will run down this list.
So we'll
Okay.
get we'll get on the ground and we'll start drawing like stick arrows in the ground based on which, and then label them for who's just going which direction, and then
Sure.
So some of yours, like once you actually start inspecting it, you can see that the sign pointing to a town and your arrows seem to be vaguely in the same general kind of alignment. So you can sort of 2 + 2 that a little bit.
Okay.
So, Kinley, your sign, the sign with your name on it, looks like it's lined up with the sign pointing towards Platinum Pines, which is to the north of where you are.
Okay.
And then, let's see. Working through this one at a time, because I asked everybody the same question this afternoon. And
Oh,
surprise!
Did you just figure that out?
I did.
what? I didn't know that her question had any meaning.
I knew it had meaning, just I didn't know how she
You didn't
put
know
it in.
how it was gonna.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
unless you're reading my Google Docs, at which point get the hell out of my Google Docs.
Very well
So,
written.
for Shelly, yours does point in the direction of UMLOT. Finnegan, yours is not lined up with a town and is pointing sort of. Sorry, make sure I'm not getting my directions backwards like an idiot. Yours is pointing sort of west, a little bit north of west-ish, is what you're ballparking. And then Czar, yours is pointing back towards Vinewood. And Lucy, yours is pointing towards Hexto.
Ah, nice. Oh, fun.
Ta-da.
Yay.
Yes.
She's got
Well,
a
time to
sign.
split
Alright.
the party, guys.
All right.
Oh dear
so-
God, please don't.
No.
I immediately rescind the last 20 minutes. None of that happened. That sign does not exist.
You're all going to
Oh.
UMLOT.
Well, I was getting ready to say, how old are the oldest kids in this group, and so that Czar knew who to give a rapier to and send them on their way. But
We're not leaving the kids unsupervised. We'll just take them to the nearest town.
older kids can do quite well looking after younger ones. Thank you.
Yeah, but not out in the wilderness. What if they just get recaptured or something?
That's what the rapia's for.
Or eaten by a wolf? I mean,
Eaten
just
by
because
several
turtles
wolves.
can do it, you guys don't have shells, okay?
Well, Yules is going that direction anyway, so you could travel with them.
I will. I'm going to take them to town.
I'm. How about this? We could perhaps make a list of these and visit the locations marked by this odd sign in time after taking care of the children.
I mean, I'm just saying my point's that way anyway, so.
Yes.
That's convenient.
It is, right?
Lucy kind of mumbled
Well-
something under her breath.
Something about karma, I'm
that.
sure.
Mine is much further north, so.
Oh, mine's this way, guys.
Mine is somewhere. We need to go eventually, anyways.
Fine. We'll go. We'll take the kids to the city. We'll ask around if anybody knows anything about this signpost.
You did this to yourselves. Remember that. So you're gonna make your left at the crossroads and continue heading towards UMLOT, or
Magic signpost in the woods. Tell me if you're up to no goods. No? Okay. Yeah, let's go.
it's worth a
Isn't
shot,
it-
right?
Worth a shot, I'd say.
As much as Czar wants to go kill whatever put his full name on a signpost, the kids are more important.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I
no
only
promises
see
once we
my
get-
name.
But no promises once we get to UMLOT.
The like nobody else can see it. You're the only one who can see your name on that sign.
It doesn't matter.
But you're still
know my
furious
name.
that it's on there.
Hey.
so- okay.
Oh yeah.
I have a
What if it's
question.
just
happy.
the angels?
I have a question. If there's nobody in the woods to read the sign, does it still have a name?
Oh, God.
Probably not. Probably
The
not.
name of the
Why do you
animal
ask these
crosses it.
questions?
The conundrums.
That was totally in character and not expecting a response. So,
What does Meryl see?
oh, that's a good question.
Why do you
I'm
do
gonna
this to
look-
her, guys?
I'm gonna-
I want to know why I do this to myself. I'm like, this is gonna be so cool. It's gonna like
It
give
is
them something
cool.
to think about, and they're like,
yeah,
and
But-
and they're
but
just
you
like-
know that I've got detect magic and identify on everything. So,
right, and that was fine. Like it's divination magic, and you're like, and it's some kind of ancient-y, legendary artifacty thing that Identify falls short on, and you need legend lore to get anywhere on, and that's totally. And then you're just like, what does Meryl say? Like, what?
I have
Actually,
an
though,
inquisitive mind.
I am
I
going
know,
to
which
send
is
Meryl
fair,
up for
but-
I'm gonna send Meryl up for a quick look just to make sure that nobody's like watching us.
Playing a
And-
trick on you or anything
Yeah.
dirty like
And the
that.
two dudes
It was
walking behind the cart.
No.
No!
What do theirs
Sorry.
say?
Czar, can you take this signpost with us?
What?
That might not
No,
be a good
don't do
idea.
that.
No,
Well,
because people
it's-
could get
that-
lost.
It's an artifact. We don't want other
We-
people to have access to an artifact.
But I mean,
I mean,
sometimes
I think
for a
somebody would have
reason?
taken it already.
Unless it's
yes.
an artifact placed in our path for us.
Fine, I'll go
Magic
try
is
and pull
really
a sign off
finicky.
the post.
might not be a
Zap
good
him,
idea.
Zap him. Zap him.
So you attempt to grab that. You're attempting to grab the sign off the signpost. Is that
Yeah, and pull it off the signpost.
okay?
I was referring to the whole post, but sure, you can go with your method.
Yeah. So you reach for the sign, and your hand finds nothing but air.
Ooh.
It's incorporeal. It's a ghost sign.
Well, what about the
Well-
post?
Finnegan!
But
Think
Come
of
on,
it as
let's
a magic
just
compass.
go.
wait, did Chili identify the sign, or did she identify the post the sign was on?
Excellent
can
quest.
identify this.
You
Which
just
one
have to-
red is magic?
Because you have to touch it to identify it.
the whole signpost read as magic, and you have to be touching
Okay.
it to identify it. So your hand would have been on the post that the signs are attached to.
All right, I'll try and pull the post out of the ground then.
Fuck's sake. Leave
I'm
it.
gonna go ahead and pull the cart forward like 40 feet just in case.
It like explodes or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
or surprise, there's actually a lattice of immovable rods underneath it holding it in place. Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
No. If something goes wrong, Zara just has another thing to blame Finnegan for.
The
Add it to
construction.
the list.
The construction is extremely well done. It looks extremely well anchored. You notice it's constructed out of a giant immovable rod encased in wood.
Fantasy concrete.
I mean, if it is, I have no worries that it will ever go into the wrong hands.
Yeah. You could make a strength check, I guess, to try to like pry it out of the ground.
Zar's gonna look like he's trying really, really hard, like grunting. A vein on the side of his head's gonna pop out. He's really not even like attempting.
Gotcha.
Maybe if I dispel it, it will weaken its hold on the ground for you, Zar. You want me to give that a shot?
No, Finnegan.
No, Finnegan, it's fine. We just know it'll be here for us when we get back.
Okay.
We
if
know
it's
where to
not,
go
I know who to
anyways.
blame.
Yourself.
Nope.
Well, you know, maybe if you were a few feet taller, you could be of use of things like this, but you're not, so, you know, we work with what we got. Let's go!
Oh, speaking of which, you know what, Zar? I think I have a way I can help you with this.
Please don't light it on fire.
Zar's already, like, getting on his horse.
I can definitely turn much taller to grab a hold of this giant post.
Oh,
No.
whatever you...
So, are you contemplating using the staff?
For an awakened tree? Who knows?
I'm just gonna slowly start telling the horses
Yep.
to go ahead.
I'm getting on my horse, ignoring the idiot, and tropping along.
I
Telling the
won't.
kid.
I just wanted to fuck with him there for a second. I'm not gonna mess with the sign if Zar's not gonna yank it out.
Well, when you seriously think about attempting to use the staff, even for like a sarcastic reason like that, when you give it a serious thought to use it, you very, very faintly in the back of your mind hear a voice that's just like, do it. Go ahead and do it. Like, just sort of like nudging you to exercise the power of the staff. It doesn't make you, but it's just sort of in the back of your mind. It's just like, go ahead, just go ahead and use it. You just give it a shot.
Becky.
Nah, he doesn't want to get left by his party. He's gonna follow suit. But he's definitely gonna contemplate it when he comes back. Put it to serious.
Fucking Becky in his head, I'm telling you.
Most probably. We
Or
keep
it's an
fucking
intelligent, or
around.
it's an intelligent weapon that wants to be used.
Or it's the Demon Queen wanting you to blow charges on something that is needed to reseal her prison.
Awakened Tree is not blowing any of the charges.
Oh.
None of you know that voice is in his head. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Keep your color commentary to your.
Hey, I am just doing the same commentary he would do if it was one of us getting these messages. So,
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want.
I
want
only do
out
that
of
for
character
one person.
Talking him out of something in character, because if he doesn't, if we're gonna.
Oh no, we're not talking about a dead character.
Mm-mm.
Otherwise,
There's
we
only
would have
one-
mentioned Becky.
There's only one person I help with making decisions.
And none of them are ever good.
No, doesn't mean I'm not gonna help.
It's terrible. So you hang your left and start moving on down the road again. I keep
Wait,
saying
left
moving on
as
down
in
the road.
like west-ish?
No, north-ish.
Oh.
Because you're heading east to west, so you would make a left to go north.
Wait, so you're saying the sign was pointing sort of back the way we were coming?
Mine was. Mine pointed to Vinewood.
You said mine was slightly north of west.
Yeah.
So literally back, nearly back the way we came.
Yeah, whereas Zara's was actually pointing like bird flies Vinewood. It's not direction of travel road-wise, it's direction of travel like literal.
Linear.
Yeah.
Got it.
It doesn't account for road
Roads.
turns and stuff.
Magic. Who fucking walks anyways, right?
So you hang your northward turn, continue on for a few more hours. It starts to get to be dinner time. You know you're going to need to stop and give the kids a break, camp out for the night, try to figure out a way to sort of finagle this nonsense that you've put yourselves into. Or, well, I kind of did it too. But, sort of dangled that in front of you a bit. I couldn't really. But anyway, you stop for the night, make a campfire, break some rations out for the kids, starve the guys, I'm assuming, because that's how you roll.
They'll get fed the scraps of what other people didn't eat.
Okay.
Not a complete savage.
Uh-huh.
Their clothes are still several miles behind us, by the way.
I was about to say, yeah, we're not total savages, but they're walking around butt naked with a cart full of kids in front of them. So, you know, there's levels. There's all kinds.
I didn't think of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, lots of responsible policing going on at the moment. But you bed down for the night. Who's gonna take watches on this escapade?
Last watch
I'll
as
take
usual.
watch. First watch.
Okay.
Shelly on second watch.
You guys take watch a lot. So let me get your perception checks, please.
Right.
All right. Perception.
Shelly sees
Yeah,
all.
Czar's basically like hanging out with the two oldest kids that are there, and he's like, he has rapiers in his hand, and he's teaching them a few moves and everything like that, and not really paying attention to the surroundings.
Okay. And Shelly, you can have Meryl make one to cover her hourly sort of little quickie loops that you said she does.
Sentry turtle, engage.
It's like a construct, but different.
Yeah.
Until I don't have to sleep anymore. It'll be great.
That'll be fun. So Czar, like you said, you're playing with the kids and just generally sort of distracted from doing anything of help on this whole being on watch thing. Everyone else is in various levels of asleep. You know, most of the kids are. It's gotten like a slightly lighter atmosphere to it as the trip's gone on, so it's almost sleepover-ish kind of a vibe in terms of they're kind of like laughing and playing games with each other and doing that whole kind of nut stuff. But they eventually tuck her out and peter off to sleep before the end of your section of watch.
Okay. Also, I would where's it at here? Resilience. Which was the god that represented the resilience domain? That was
got it written down. Resilience is Dipvig.
Okay, yeah, there it is. I see it. So I would actually be telling the kids as we're fighting and everything about the god, the ancient god, one of the 6, Dipvig, as well. While
Okay.
doing this,
Doing a little preaching.
a little bit,
Okay. Doesn't
but in a fun kind of way, like they say he was a werewolf, and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Gotcha. Keeping it lighthearted and
yeah.
trying to keep things upbeat and whatnot and so forth. So you are. The rest of your watch goes by relatively aside from the events of you playing with the kids and stuff, and then they eventually tuck around and go to bed, you don't notice anything untoward going on. You kind of keep an eye, especially on the two guys, to make sure that they don't try to slip the ropes, make a run for it, or any of that kind of nonsense. So that's most of what you're fixated on.
After the kids go to bed, I'm gonna just relay to them the story of what happened to the cultists, and then I'll wake Shelly up for their watch.
Mm-hmm.
Seems
So,
reasonable.
yeah, Shelly, you get tagged in. Meryl kind of gives you a bit of a dump on the last couple hours of doing loops around. A bit of an info dump on some of the surrounding areas, and the mentions like there's like a clearing off this way, and there's like a hill over that away, and it's kind of general lay of the landish stuff within a half mile or so sort of vicinity, doing different circles and loops and stuff. And your watch goes by. In as far as immediate vicinity goes, eyes open, ears peeled. You don't notice anything overly eventful. You kind of keep an eye on the two guys like Zara was doing, but they're sort of passed out from exhaustion since you've been marching them on foot. And as your watch starts to come down to a close, you're getting ready to wake up Kinley. You do get a bit of info from Meryl that she noticed a person off in the distance, just kind of standing there.
Oh, like far off in the distance, or?
Maybe like football field-ish, about 100 yards-ish off into the woods, just standing there. Not moving at all. They're just sort of static.
Weird.
Was it a scroaked scarecrow?
God, please don't be fiddlesticks. Please don't be fiddlesticks.
If
Especially not the real
if
one.
it's within range, I would like her to show me by having her going into her senses to see what she sees.
That's 100 yards. That's within range. I think, isn't it? Or is it only 100 feet?
I think it's 100 feet.
So then it would fall short. I always get the. Yeah, it's only 100 feet. Unless you get the. But you took Pact to the Tome, so you don't get that extra ability. So it's only 100 feet. Yeah. But she relays to you that there's like a person about 100 yards that way dead into the woods, and they're just standing there.
Okay, I'll have her just post up somewhere and keep an eye on it, and if they start to walk in our direction to come land on Czar, and I'll let him know that if that's what happens, it's because she's trying to tell him that.
Right, so let me get this straight, Shelly. If the bird lands on me, I need to kill something.
Not kill. It's just an early warning sign. So just maybe investigate, maybe wake me up, something like that.
All right, good night.
If you have her wake me up, then I can tell you what she saw. So.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
What? Wait. Why is she waking me up for me to wake you up? Instead of waking you up.
Are you not the watch guy after me?
No, Kinley's the watch.
Sorry. Hey, Kinley. Kinley.
Oh God, no.
What?
Hey, so there's a guy standing out in the woods, and I don't know why, but Meryl found him, and I'm gonna have her sit in a tree and keep an eye on him. And if he comes in our direction, she's gonna come land on you.
Okay.
And if you wake me up, I can tell you what she sees. Otherwise, she's just warning you that he moved.
All right.
Okay.
You need to murder him if he gets.
I'm
within
going to
range.
bed.
Yeah.
And by bed, I mean
Muttered.
chill.
Yes.
Muttered
Good night.
curses come from Czar's bedroll.
That's what happens. You get woken up for absolutely no reason.
No reason, yeah. So Kinley takes over. You're keeping an eye on things, making sure none of the kids, you know, every once in a while you do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 12. You know, none of the kids are missing. 2 guys are still accounted for. One of them's snoring like a jackass. You're attentive, eyes peeled, ears open, scoping out the surrounding woods. You're especially kind of watching the general direction that Shelly mentioned. There was like a person in the woods? Question mark. Shrug.
Yeah.
But Meryl doesn't swing by to alert you of anything, so it seems okay, if strange. The rest of the night rolls by relatively chill, and you wake up the next sunrise, and you start kind of giving everybody a nudge to get up and moving so you can get on the road again.
So,
Sorry. Are we traveling in the direction of that guy? Or would it be different?
No, the road's going this way. It was like 100 yards like off into the woods that way.
So, are they still there, Shelly?
Meryl.
So Meryl swings by and like comes back in the morning and lets you know that they're still standing there. They're not moving at all. They haven't moved an inch the whole time that she was sitting there watching.
Are you sure? And it's going to sound like I'm chirping, but that's just for flavor because I'm fucking with everybody. Because our connection is mental, but I'm going to be like, chirp, 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 and think to her, are you sure it's not a scarecrow?
Pretty sure, yeah. No, it seemed like a person. They had like a bow and it was like up and everything, but they just didn't move.
So, what's it saying, Shelly?
There's it's not a scarecrow, but might be like a statue or a petrified person or something. It seems like it's an archer with a bow ready who's been standing in that position for literally hours without moving a muscle, which is really fucking weird.
That is super weird.
It is
Alright,
super
well,
weird.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, Finn.
Finn's having breakfast.
Finn or Finn again.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna send Meryl with you guys, but I'm gonna stay with the kids because
All right. Well, can you tell Meryl that if I ask her to come get you, that she just not stand on my shoulder and look at me like I'm stupid?
tweet, 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 tweet.
Awesome.
I
Alright,
speak bird.
Let's go check out creepy thing in the woods.
Oh!
Creepy thing in the woods.
So Meryl leads you in the direction of this motionless person, and go ahead and make a perception check.
I haven't had a nat 1 tonight. Come on. Yeah, close.
So Czar and Finnegan, as you get close, Finnegan, you notice that it definitely looks like a person, but also very much stone in appearance. And you're just looking at Meryl like, what the hell, Bert? This is very clearly not a person. And Czar just like, wow, that's so weird that that guy's not moving.
Well, we did.
All right, Finnegan.
I have food on the way.
Let's approach very
I got you,
carefully.
Chipotle.
They could spring and fire at us at any moment.
Spring and fire at us any moment, but he looks like stone to me.
Oh, well, yes, but we don't know if it's some kind of magical statue talking out of my ass at this point.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for those magically stone statues in the middle of a forest.
We've seen them before in the place where, Ambriel is, so, Always be-
dream
yes,
state again.
always be prepared for the unexpected and you're never surprised.
Cool. Well then, as we're getting closer, I guess I'm gonna activate Cold Snap.
Okay.
Okay, let's put that there for you.
Yeah, I was like, I need to.
Oh, that's not what I want.
Nope.
Doesn't give you the information. How about display? There we go.
Blah blah blah. Pair of blue light. Na na na.
Basically, if I attack something within my 30-foot range.
Extra damage. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just going blue. I'm just going blue.
Yeah. I gave you a whole bunch of spells and then I haven't memorized them. So.
I don't expect you to. I really don't. But they're really cool.
Yeah. They're some of them are really neat. I like them. They're cool stuff. But you close in on this, and once you get a bit closer, Zar, you catch the same kind of giveaway that Finnegan picked up a little bit further out, and you're just like, son of a bitch, it is a statue.
So, Finnegan, doesn't that bonking stick of yours have the ability to make things turn back to their true forms?
In a sense, sort of, yeah.
You think it worked if that was a person and that was turned into stone? Do you think you could bonk them back into being normal?
It doesn't really fix magic curses.
It won't hurt to try, will it? It doesn't use one of its charges, does it?
No.
No, bonking. Come, Finnegan, I've been trying to get you to bonk something with that staff for weeks now. This is the prime opportunity to do it.
Fine. I'll go over there and, strike it.
Okay. Just sort of like a gentle, sort of like
Yeah,
knighting
like
on the shoulder.
bonks it.
Or,
on the shoulder, not the head. On the shoulder.
Okay.
Maybe waist. I don't know. How tall is it compared to me?
Yeah, what,
Like normal adult human height, so
We'll
like,
say mid-arm
noticeably-
then. I don't think I could reach that high unless I'm in front of it or behind it. I'm like, that's just terrible. Location.
Okay. So you bonk it on kind of like an elbow kind of thing, and nothing seems to happen.
I'm
But
sure you're doing it right.
I mean, do you want me to blow a charge on a stone statue?
Well, no, but that looked more like a tap, not a bonk. Here.
Do we have mechanics for the difference between a tap and a bonk? Do I need to Google that?
In Zar's head, he does.
Okay.
So he's gonna walk over and pick Finnegan up and hold him up so that he can bonk the thing in the head.
I will.
Coming soon to DM's Guild. Tap and bonk mechanics.
I guess I'll tap his head now to make Zar leave me alone and set me back down.
And Zar will say bonk when he taps its head.
Okay.
Incredibly uncomfortable being lifted up.
So you give it a little kind of dink on
Bonk.
the head, and nothing seems to happen.
I
But
said,
as you're lifted up into this higher vantage point, you do notice that there appears to be another one a few trees down.
Hey, I do appreciate you lifting me up here for a better advantage, but could you set me down, please?
"Are you getting dizzy?
I mean,
World
I
looks
just don't-
different from up here, don't it?"
It's just very uncomfortable to be not on the ground.
All right. I'll sit him down, and as I do, I'm saying, "Are you sure you're doing the stick right? You didn't break it already, did you?"
No, I definitely did not break it, but hey, excellent news. There's more of these stone statues with bows at the ready. There's one right over there, and I'll just point in the direction I saw it.
All right. Not Shelly. Meryl. go tell Shelly we found another statue, and I'll point over where Finnegan pointed it out. And we're gonna go look at it, and then I guess come back to us if she tells you to. Chirp, 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 tweet.
But before we leave this one, I wanted to see which way the bow was pointing. Trajectory-wise.
Trajectory-wise, it's angled roughly in the direction of camp.
Where we camped? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will walk towards the other one, but as I am, I'm definitely going to like keep an eye out and see if the stone statue follows us by chance.
Mm-hmm.
Weeping angels, no!
No. That next time, maybe, because that's a good idea.
Shh, I already have those planned.
You're giving me your own doom.
Yeah.
But no, Ed, you kind of move around a couple of trees. You see another one, bow at the ready, arrow knocked, ready to fire, facing. They're sort of like pie wedged. So this one's pointed towards camp, and this one's kind of like that away.
Can I reach up and see if I can like acquire the arrow that's in his hand, or is it like it also is stone?
It's solid stone, the top, the whole way around.
Bow and an arrow.
Mm-hmm. String too.
Take
That's some quality craftsmanship.
So it's pointing in a different direction from where it's sitting at, so there's no like meeting in the middle coming.
No, they're pie wedged away from each other.
How far away is this one?
It's maybe 30, 35 feet, something like that. Merrill caught the first one and just kind of fixated on reporting that news back. And with the canopy cover and a couple of trees and things like that, she missed that there was more than one, because she spotted one and was like, "Hey, there's a guy." But they're not like miles apart from each other. It's only about like 35, 40 feet maybe.
Alright, I'm gonna like, hey, stay here, don't get lost, so I can find you in case I get lost. I'm gonna see if I can possibly convert these stones.
Alright.
I'm gonna like, from the direction of that last statue, I'm gonna see if I can keep going and see if there's another one just pointing in like a totally different direction as well.
Okay. So go ahead and make a perception check as you start kind of working your way further into the woods here. So you go maybe another like maybe like 30,
300 yards! It's way
No.
out there!
It's not like super way out there. It's maybe another like 30, 40 yards deeper into the woods, and you come across a pair of statues, basically like right on top of each other, sword and shield on one, axe at the ready on another, and so they were both bearing down on something in between them.
How strange.
So you're saying an archer is pointing this way, another archer is pointing this way, and then I keep going, and then I see a bunch of warriors attacking in an empty space between them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go in between. It's near the two statues. I definitely want to make a joke about it.
You're gonna move close to the statue so you can crack a joke?
Oh yeah. And
Okay.
Czar definitely won't be able to hear.
Okay. So you get up close to them, you can see that it appears to be, like once you get up close and sort of get a look at the detail, you can see that it looks to be a half-orc and a tiefling. And the archers had been a human and an elf. And kind of in general, sort of catching
Their
body
clothing
features. and
have any
things.
distinctive features to them at all, or is it just like standard garb warriors would?
Kind of standard traveler ranger-ish kind of. They look like the types that would spend time in off the road in the wilderness.
I'm gonna walk up near them and go, "No, please don't fight over me." And then I'm gonna proceed back to Zar.
Fair enough. You
So,
work your way back to Zar. Eventually, you meet back up after a short walk
Yeah.
back.
While he was gone, Czar took his quill that has his never-ending ink on it that he had dipped into that little pot, and he has currently like filled in the lips and around the eyes of the statue.
Zar, are you defiling the statue?
Maybe.
It's all gonna be karma. It's all gonna be karma.
Well, there's two more back that way, and they're attacking something in between them, but they're also stone. One's like an orc warrior, and the other one's like kind of ranger, elf,
So
magic, whatever.
I hear the words you're telling me, and I think the meaning behind them is let's get the hell out of here and get back on the road and away from whatever this is that did this to those people.
I mean, I'm not a fan of being turned to stone.
Me either.
I could
Especially
probably-
since you broke the bonking stick.
I didn't break it.
Well, it didn't work. That's obviously not the natural state.
Do you want me to show you what it does?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Look. You've got your celestial tricks, I've got mine.
So you
Under his
sent,
breath, he'll go celestial my ass.
yeah, you sent Meryl to go give the group a
Yeah.
saddle up, kind of, and within the time span it took for Finnegan to get out there, give a look at the statues, and make his way back, they would be closing in on you from the other direction. So, depending on who all answered the call, the gang's all here.
I would have asked if they wanted to go or if one of them wanted to stay with the kids.
I didn't tell them to come to us, unless that's the way Bird took it.
Oh,
I mean-
We're like, let her know what we're doing. Kind
Yeah.
Of thing.
And I would have wanted to join in to see if I could provide assistance. But
Let me see
I-
if can dispel
Guess
what
I will
that
stay with the kids.
is. Archer fella, before we leave, just buttons.
I guess that leaves me to stay with the kids and the criminals.
Lucy would be staying back too because criminal.
So it's
with
just
guilt.
three of us in the forest alone.
I'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So first thing is I had somebody talking at me when the initial description was done, but we are sure that this is not just finely crafted stone. Yes,
Oh, there's stone
because
statues.
there's
that's-
bowstrings, which you can't really do with stone. right.
I mean, we're in UMLOT. Anything's magical.
Fair. I mean, I guess stone shape can do shit. So as Shelly comes up on them, if I see the things, I will do the detect magic thingy. And otherwise have Meryl do another sweep to see if she sees anything amiss or any more statues.
Okay, so Meryl does another sweep in the light of day. You can go ahead and make a perception check for that.
I mean, Finnegan, if you want to try to spell magic on it, I mean, maybe helping someone.
Alright, if we do, we probably should not be in its line of sight.
Good
Something like-
idea.
So I'm gonna like step to the side.
Can I turn the statue so that it's pointing at the one that I drew on its face? No, I'm kidding.
So Meryl lets you know that a bit, if you sort of archer two statues, if you kept going another maybe 50 yards or so, there's another statue standing at the mouth of a cave.
So if we don't want to let people keep getting petrified, we can probably go check out the lair over there and destroy the thing that's doing this.
A
Right.
layer of what?
I mean, you've heard of creatures that cause petrification, right? I mean, that's kind of a
Well, yeah, but
Don't we
isn't
have to
the
take
danger of
back?
yeah, I mean kids. And plus how are we going to stop ourselves from becoming petrified? Do you know
I
how the
mean-
creature does it?
uh,
Magic?
can I assume I know things from studies, or I don't know how you deal with knowledge and meta knowledge and all of that stuff in your games. So
Yeah, that's
Um,
why Zara's just like being completely like,
Go ahead and make a. You can make either a history roll or a nature roll, depending on whether it's more practical knowledge or more just straight academic.
mine would be academic.
So you know that there's a few different kinds of creatures that can do this kind of magical statuing, but there's a mix of different things that can do it, right? You know that like Gorgons have like a breath thing that they can do, and there's ones that like they just give you the evil eye and you're just and so specific mitigation you're not 100% certain what to recommend, but you know that there's only like a couple of different ways to make it happen, so you could guard against all of them if you wanted to.
I would suggest not looking at whatever we're going to go up against,
Oh, fight blind. Cool.
and possibly. I mean, I, I have an idea for how I can do things, but also don't get bitten and don't let it breathe on you.
Got it. So,
So,
don't
you're
get near
telling-
it. Don't
you-
look at it.
you're telling me to just set the fight out then, right? Because, you know, I'm stabby, chop, chop.
Also, you breathe.
Yes.
I mean, no, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like
Well,
maybe
I'm gonna
you
get bitten and get turned into stone, then who's gonna take care of the children? I think this is something we can definitely come back and take care of. We've got a bunch of kids out there, and we've got a bunch of people already turned to stone here. Wasn't that the reason we didn't follow that sign? Because it was more important to get the children to the city?
Yeah.
Left that artifact behind.
I mean, okay, so here's some options just in case. I can set up an illusion like bait, and while it's distracted by that, we can get it from behind. Or I can use Meryl's eyes to guide me in blasting it, where I don't have to actually look at it.
Well, right? I mean, could do that, but I still think we should take the kids back first.
Okay.
And maybe
It's
we
just
could,
there's a lot of people out here that
maybe we could buy some mirrors or something while we're in the town, and you know,
Make it look at itself.
yeah, make yeah, or you know, try and see. I mean, I guess I could kind of stand like this. He kind of like poses, like he's got one rapier out and the mirror in the other hand, and like stabbing through his arm at it from like over his shoulder. Yeah, I mean,
That's spam. That's
I mean,
vampire.
I could do that. I'm fairly nimble.
maybe a fog cloud would help too, but I don't know. Be worth
Hey, since we don't know what we're doing, not doing it with kids is great.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We'll come back, and plus, if
I
we
wish there
kill
was
it-
like a way we could warn people away from here though, because
Light
that's
it on fire.
counting people. There's a few people out here, and I don't want more people showing up.
Right, but here's the thing. I know petrification can usually be cured somehow, So once we kill it and whatnot, or let people know in UMLOT, maybe they can send somebody to unpetrify all of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to get Finnegan to do it, but he don't know how to use the stick.
I do cast Dispel Magic on the archer while they're chit-chatting about doing and not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it works or not, I don't care, but I still try.
Okay. Okay, so you throw a Dispel Magic out there at one of the statues at, was it 3rd level's the minimum?
Yeah.
And the magic, you can feel the magic kind of like soak into the stone a bit, but it doesn't seem to break away or show any sign of dissipating.
Yep, guys. I'm gonna say them turning people into stones far above my skill level. I'm out. We're gonna head to UMLOT. Yeah, pass. Definitely magical essence of stone. Not good.
You know, don't take this the wrong way, Finnegan, but don't get used to me agreeing with you, because I agree with you right now. We should go.
We're not necessarily agreeing. We're just saying the same thing.
I'll take it.
We're totally.
Did I look over to Shelly? Maybe you can convince the other two. I mean, but as my vote goes for going to UMLOT.
Zar, I'm gonna depend on you on talking Lucy out of going into a layer that is much stronger than this.
She's not talking to me hardly. She's still mad for some reason.
That's fine, but I know she trusts you and you trust her, or if you guys don't, I really don't care. Just, just keep her from doing the whole paladin thing. That'd be
Even I don't have that now.
well, all right. If she does, I'll try another method, but I'd rather not.
Right, well, let's head back and Shelly can make their case and we can make ours and see who gets the most votes, I guess, because that's how we work, right? We vote and whatever has the most votes, that's what we do. Seems right.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you work your way back to the rest of the group. Move through the woods without too much difficulty. Find the encampment just as you left it. Everyone's still accounted for. You do a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, all the kids are here. 2 guys. Yep. Okay. Is Kinley back yet, or are you still BRB?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take your usual 10-minute break right here.
All
Alright,
right.
and
Break
then we'll
time.
keep rolling.
We shall return in 10. See you all shortly.
Oh.
I really want to fight the
Game face.
Hello.
We are back. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome back.
Yay, we have resumed. The party is making a judgment call on crazy stone monster fight. No crazy stone monster fight. So are we or are we not going to fight mysterious stone monster
Right,
thing?
well, they come back and tell me about it. No, definitely not.
Personally, no, but gotta wait for them to come to talk to Lucy about it.
Just another thing that we have to come back to. Well, I think that was the assumption as we come back and told you everything that we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of pull them off to the side so you don't let the kids find out. And just kind of quietly, oh, there's like a thing in the woods that's turning people into stone.
How about no?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that, you know, I mean, it's not like people every 5 feet, so doesn't seem to be happening a whole lot. So why don't we just put that on our list of things to go back and check into? You know, like Super Fiend down south, and then we've got a monastery full of Yetis and Beckies, and you know, our list is going up there. We've got a sign that's pointing somewhere different for each of us. Why don't we just add this one to our list of things we need to come back to because we have more pressing matters and don't want to die?
Or
You know what? That is
don't
a
come
great
back
idea.
at all to it.
No, we're gonna have to at some point.
Nothing,
is a
nothing says we
problem.
have to.
Yeah, I think our oaths as keepers and well, kind of oaths as protectors of the Six as well, kind of would mandate that we would come back and take care of this eventually.
Yes.
Or at least find somebody else to do it that is capable of doing so without turning into statues.
Why don't we just
Exactly.
post it on like a job posting at town for hunters that like literally do this for a living?
I mean, are you paying for the bounty?
No, but they can take care of it on their end. I'm just notifying them that there's a thing that needs to be done.
There's gonna be a lot of people out in the woods. Then
Maybe it's just that's perfect. That more of them to fight it, right? Or more stone statues for cover.
Do you like not care about other people?
Pragmatism.
And,
Well, I'm just
and
saying if they turn to stone, they're not dead, so they can always be saved.
I'm gonna look over to Lucy and I'm gonna say, and you thought I had a problem with my morality?
I suppose I was wrong.
Right, well, I think anyway we're of a majority consensus that we're not going to deal with this thing right now. So
Not
we should
right now.
get the kids on the cart and head toward the city.
Let's.
Alright,
Okay.
gather up the children, put them in the cart. Then here we go.
Yep, give a little and the horses are off to a stroll, working your way around. Knowing that you are now less than a day's trip away from arriving in UMLOT, as you had hoped several days ago to achieve.
And and realizing his mistake, Czar is going to get some spare clothes out and put pants on the guys.
And everyone appreciates it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Most of all, the two of them who are just like, this is just a little ridiculous.
Most of all, me.
So you're back on the road, moving on down, and you know you spent a little bit of time trying to suss out the statue situation, but it's around lunchtime or so when you get a sending from the keepers, Kinley.
Oh, what do they want?
So we've been doing like steady check-in report deals
Yep.
with the stone. So it's basically they're just letting you know that once you arrive in UMLOT, you should report to the Marcelheim embassy.
To the
And-
Marcelheim embassy. All right.
and they should have more information for you once you get there. And that's just all they need to fill you in.
All right.
Fill you're in route. If there's anything you want to send back to them real quick, you can. But otherwise, they're just giving you a when you get there, check in, and we'll go from there.
I say, Roger, I'll check in when I get there. When I have, we're not on the road, so.
And then keep on rolling. Break out a little bit of lunch for the kids, and want to make sure you're still making good progress to get into town at a decent hour, so it's not like 8 o'clock at night when you're trying to find a place to stay with a cartload of kids and 2 prisoners. So you're making good time, and you come across a shepherd with a rather large flock of sheep, sort of moving his way across-ish / down the road, sort of moving from one grazing area to another kind of a deal.
Well, Finnegan, it looks like it's mutton for dinner now.
They're not horses. I don't worry about them.
I guess we kind of have to wait.
So the sheep are slowly kind of working their way around. It's a big flock. You can see there's a couple of sheepdogs kind of helping guide them, keep them but they're sort of moving across and are sort of somewhat enveloping you guys and the cart, and just sort of moving across. And the shepherd gives you a hi, how are you? How's it going? Oh, don't worry, we'll be out of your way in a minute. I'm sorry. Flock's gotta eat, and they
Make sure that you avoid any fields full of statues.
Yeah, don't go anywhere further south than here ever again.
That's excessive, but if you see fields full of statues, you should probably go someplace else, because there's something on the loose out there.
Okay. He kind of walks over and he's just like, "What are you statues? What are you talking about?"
Like,
There is something in the woods turning people to stone.
My goodness, are you all right? Did it attack you? What is?
We got lucky, I assume.
Yes.
Finnegan is going to start looking around in general. I'm not worried about the sheeps or anything. Just more less focused on sheep. I'm not a sheep guy. I'm a horse guy. I don't like horses. I like sheep. They're cool. They're whatever.
Okay.
I'm confused now.
People that take care of sheeps, they're not. They're just sheep people.
He's like, fuck sheep herders.
Fucking sheep.
Go ahead and make a general perception check, or you're trying to concentrate on everything else. This kind of, and the kids are like in awe, not in awe, but somewhat distracted by the sheep. A couple of them are sort of thinking about. You can tell that a couple of them are kind of climbing up, reaching out to get like their hands licked by the sheep, kind of a thing. They're trying to play with the sheep.
Aww.
Oh yeah, your nat 1 ability.
Whew, thank God.
Yeah, it would have been terrible. Might have missed something important.
Good.
But you're just kind of looking off into the and the shepherd's chit-chatting with everyone else, making time as the sheep move their way across. Nothing overly interesting jumps out at you. It's just you're just killing time the best you can, looking at trees and bushes and shrubs. And, and eventually they clear out of the way, and you can move on about your merry business. He does have a nice day. I'll be sure to don't go south, right? No south. Gotcha.
That's right.
And he keeps, moving on with the herd, with the flock. And then you continue on down the road some more. A few more hours go by. It's you're getting close to town now. You can see kind of the turnoff from the major trade route into the road that's going to lead you to the front entrance of the city. And sorry, let me double check something. One of these days, I'll remember to check this kind of thing in advance.
One day.
One day. Okay. So, you are moving down the road here, and you see a little old lady on the side of the road who's kind of flagging you down at trying to get you to stop.
I'll lean
Should
over
we
to Shelly.
stop?
Take magic on her. I don't trust her.
Do the thing.
Okay.
I don't trust old ladies out in the road. Nope. And again, we'll never trust old ladies out in the middle of the road.
So, Finnegan kind of leans over and gives you the, like, hey, maybe, and before you even get to pop it, you recognize Rebecca.
Becky. Fucking do it!
Oh
knew
my
it was
god.
God damn it!
Finnegan, that's how Finnegan reacts.
Ah, fucking hell.
So, she is not in fiendish form. She's just looking like a sweet little old lady and flagging you guys down. You're gonna stop? You're gonna just plow on past? You're gonna flip her the bird on the way by? What's the game plan here?
I touch Shelly and give her guidance. Case of any kind of checks, gets charm.
Right?
That's just for ability checks, isn't it? Not saves.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so. Pretty sure.
yeah, it's just ability checks. Never mind.
It'd be resistance for that.
Good
Um,
try though. Good thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, protect her! She needs help! She needs help! She's too friendly!
Do you mind if I roll a d20 for myself?
Yeah, sure.
See what I'm gonna decide. Okay.
I do that constantly, so I'm not gonna tell you guys you can't.
Well, that's a nat 1. So Czar is going to
Fireball.
Mush!
no fireball. You're probably right. He's gonna kind of give a look. I'll be back in a minute, kids. And he's gonna ride up in front of the cart toward Becky. Rebecca.
Come on, don't do
sorry.
anything stupid.
He rolled a nat 1. What the hell do you think he's gonna do?
Hey,
I'm going
Lucy
to-
doesn't know that he rolled a nat 1. So, shh.
And I'm gonna ride up to Becky
Mhm.
and sorry, Rebecca.
I mean, it's.
I think
Becky.
she preferred Becky.
Yeah.
What?
It's her appearance is how you remembered seeing her when she introduced herself as Rebecca.
What do you want?
Hi, how's it going?
Oh
We're
my
not
God.
on your damn mountain, so why are you bothering us?
Okay, calm down, right? Looking like this for the kids, right? Trying to be nice. This is an olive branch, right? We're talking. We're having a conversation, right?
Right? Yes, we're definitely having a conversation.
Finnegan from the cart's gonna yell, don't forget you tried to kill me!
Because you try to do something to her?
And when he says that, I'm gonna say it really low so he can't hear to Rebecca. And sometimes I wish you would have succeeded. But tell me what you want, Becky.
So it's funny that you should mention the mountain. I kind of need a favor.
He kind of giggles snorts out loud when she says that. Just like, wait, you need a favor from us. You know, the people that you charmed and almost killed and then set your yeti upon us. You need a favor from us.
To be fair, tried to charm. Well, no, he didn't. I charmed first. That's not. That's technically that is accurate assessment of our relationship to date. Yes.
I mean, I think some of that's still remaining because, yeah, otherwise, normally I would probably killed you if you were somebody else. But for some reason, I still kind of like you a little bit for whatever reason that is. Now, you said you wanted a favor. What is it?
So So I told you to like get off the mountain and never come back on a mountain, but like, turns out the Yetis they did okay. They got the but there's like a charm thing, ward, what's the force field thing that says I can't go in.
I sort of turn my head to the side and tap the tattoo on my neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like that, but actually effective. And
That
I
fucking bitch. Anyways.
and she's just like, and I can't go in, and I kind of need somebody to go in for me. And I thought you guys, being the capable adventurers you've proven yourselves to be, might be interested in helping with that particular problem. Yeah.
And what's in it for us?
You'd be helping free some trapped people. And I could perhaps quietly let you know where Bardolphus is. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, we scratch backs,
Finnegan
Wow.
at this point is like
Fir-
wondering what's going on.
First,
Why aren't you hitting her?
like I said, sometimes I really wish you would have succeeded.
They still young.
Alright, my answer to you is going to hinge on the next thing that I ask you. Who's the really buff elf cutting people in half down in Soga?
Repeat the question for me.
Who's the really buff elf chopping people in half down in Soga?
Okay. Really buff elf in Soga. Really buff elf in Soga. Like
Things seem to slow down when you like go to hit him. You seem like you just can't move as quickly as you can, and he's fiend. Lucy found that out, and he just kind of laid his axe on me and nearly chopped me in half.
oh, that buff elf. There a lot of them are getting big into fitness these days. I just wasn't sure which one you meant. Yeah, I may know him. We're acquainted, kind of, maybe a little.
All right. Well, all right then. So here's the deal. Once we're done taking care of what we need to here, we'll head back to the mountain to go in and take care of that. You let us know where Bodolphus is before we go in, because you're not most trustworthy of people.
I mean that.
You're a
doesn't
demon.
really- that fair, but we keep deals when we make deals. If
Right.
I tell you and then you refuse to go in, what do I have? Then I gotta try to Yeti you again. That doesn't seem very productive.
I will literally be standing inside the place when you tell me. And if we don't go in, feel free to lock the door. So that will happen. And while you're waiting on us to get done in the city up here, you're going to go back down a few miles down the road into the woods where there's some stone statues and kill what's ever in the cave there, taking care of it. And we've got a deal.
You're gonna have her kill a beast.
What cave? What are you talking about? What is?
There's something turning people into stone in the woods back there.
Mm-hmm.
So go find the statues, follow them, you'll find a cave, kill whatever's inside. This will prove to me that you're trustworthy.
All right. go ahead and no. Well, it's kind of a negotiation-y thing. It doesn't really necessarily
yeah.
need you to persuade her. Um, kind of mulls it over a little bit, and you do a. I'll bring proof that I did what you're asking to the top of the mountain. You come to the top of the mountain, you get your proof, you go inside, you do what I need you to do. Is this something pretty fair?
What?
Exactly as I said, yes.
Then, I suppose I'll see you on the, top of the mountain.
Alright, he's gonna go to turn his horse. As he does, he's gonna kind of lean over and make like a smoochy face at, Rebecca. And then make his...
kind of like a face back, which looks a little weird on somebody as old as she appears to be. But she gives you kind of like a snotty brat face back.
Alright. And I will make their way back to the group.
What did she want?
We'll talk about it later. Let's just get back on the road and keep heading toward the city, and when we camp tonight, we'll go over it.
Well,
Why didn't you-
hopefully.
Why didn't you hit her?
'Cause
Yes.
I don't want to die.
I'm the only
Could have
one
bonked
here
her
that
with
could
the
have
staff.
Yeah, she would have turned back into her demonic form and scared the shit out of the kids. Perfect.
Actually, she said she was in that form so she wouldn't scare the kids, so... She's odd, that one. But let's just say,
Odd for
regardless of the fact, we're not going to have to worry about that thing in that cave anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, she's going to go kill it.
why would she do that?
I'll tell you later when we're camping.
Oh, Lucy's eyes narrow at this.
So you continue on your merry way, and eventually, around dinner time-ish, not too late, but approaching the end of the day, you know you're going to need to get these kids checked in to some sort of legal authority here before too long. You arrive at the sort of city limits of Upper UMLOT.
All right.
Which looks a bit like that. So you guys are coming in kind of on this road here into that sort of space, or go around the big fountain, past the couple of planters with the big trees, and come up on this big old lake. And around the lake you see very distinctive architectural shifts. As you kind of like pan around the lake, you notice that each sort of like wedge of city is
I see
distinct.
what you did here.
Yeah. Is distinctly the architecture of a different kingdom within the empire.
Neat.
So you just kind of glancing around, and you're like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like the buildings that we saw in the Druid Alliance, and like, oh, that kind of looks like the Valley of Inspiration and stuff. And you just sort of working your way around, and you recognize at the far end of the lake what appears to be architecture from Marselheim, as well as Forge Hearth itself represented at the far end of the lake.
Right, so I think since most of these kids pointed up toward this area for where they live, we should probably take the kids to the Forge Hearth embassy so they can get them back home.
That sounds like a good idea.
Also, is it Universal Meeting Place?
It is not Universal Meeting Place.
The Universal Meeting Place will be what? I guess Marselheim, the Marselheim embassy. If we get lost, we'll all be
Oh
back
no, I
there.
meing just
Guessing
To
the name.
figure out
Taking
the
one last
name.
guess. No, as you pass the planters with the big trees in them and approach the lake, you see a big sign over, like an arched sign over the walkway that says, "Welcome to UMLOT," and under UMLOT it spells out "Unproven Model Land of Tomorrow."
Wow. Unproven.
Which, it's a very, very similar to another. Never mind.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
The amount of time it took me to work that out was longer than I'd like to admit, because I wanted it to still be readable as a name. But yeah, so that's what UMLOT stands for.
To be, like, did UMLOT start first and then you started coming up with places, or did you go through all these places like, you know what would be really cool is we had a place that just slapped them all together like in Disney World? How did that thought process like cross in your mind?
She said, oh, she said, let's make Epcot.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, this was always going to be that from the get. The name came later, but
Yeah, I'm talking about like the idea of like you built all these cities first, and you're like, it would be cool is if they all were in like one at one time.
No, this was up front. This was what this was always going to be. Was that?
Okay.
And that'll, yeah, we'll get there. It's coming. Because there's like, anyway, we'll get there. I don't want to spoil it.
Years of development here.
Stop it, Twisted.
Not years, but it's
Trying to fish for spoilers, stop it.
yeah. I was quitting.
I was more about like the DM's mindset, not the campaign itself.
But yeah, once I decided that this island was going to be themed after what it was after, this city was always going to be this city, and it was going to be laid out like this with the representatives of all the kingdoms, and like that was
Cool idea.
all right from the get-go. So yeah, and we'll get into that more as you explore the city. So you work your way down into the lake. The intention is to go to the Forge Hearth sort of section of
Yes.
the city and
Unload the kids and
unload
the
the kids and your
criminals.
captives, prisoners, fugitives, however you want to dub them in the immediate. So you meet a local town guard type police figure and check in the kids and your prisoners, and they, thank you for the service, and we'll make sure that these kids get back to where they need to get to. You've done a very good deed for us this day.
Thank you, Godsman. The Keepers are always doing their best to assist and aid the citizens of the Empire.
Oh, your keepers then. That. Nice.
By the way,
He's like,
this is
"Fuck
the
keepers."
inn thing. Don't tell him about the inn
Oh.
thing.
Yes, and on our way, I'll describe maybe how far back it was and down which fork of the road. We ran into a burned inn. There were several bodies inside, but no clues as to who had done it. Looked like it'd been done a few days prior.
All right. We had not received word of this yet. I've heard it may be from the direction that you're just. It may be over the border in the Valley's territory, but we'll make sure to coordinate with them on that and get someone to start looking into it.
Very well. Thank you, Godsman.
And are you planning to stay up here this evening, or are you planning to head down?
No, we are needed over at the embassy from Ostelheim, but thank you.
Well, enjoy your time here in UMLOT, and stay
Take
out of
good
trouble.
care of it. Take good care of those kids.
Most definitely will. And there's like a 2% chance that the guard is secretly in on it. Oh, that would have backfired real bad if I. I jokingly said there's a 2% chance, and I rolled a percentile dice, and one of them came up a 2, and I was like, oh god, oh god, oh god. That would have felt
Worst
like a real.
case scenario.
Yeah, I would have felt like a
Murder.
real jackass if you turned those kids over to someone who's just gonna turn around and put them right back on the cart. That would have been.
There would have ended up being, if that ever came to light, it would have ended up being a international incident in the international city.
Oh yeah, I would hope so.
It would come up eventually when Shelly gets sending and starts sending messages to literally everybody they know.
That's
I'm-
true. She's gonna do it.
Look forward to that day. Let me tell you, I am so excited. We'll be spending half a session on just
Out of
Shelly
session.
firing off
We'll just
sending.
do it off camera. They'll be fine.
So you dump them off. You're gonna head over, or not dump them off, but
Yeah.
hand them
Get the
over.
fuck out of here, kids.
Be
Yeah,
gone, you little twerps.
Boot to the boot to the small of the back, off the back of the cart. Move your way over to Marcelheim.
So as we're doing that, that's when I'm gonna tell them about Becky.
Okay.
So, basically, remember the mountain with the deadly yetis?
Yes.
Well, apparently, whatever Becky's after, they can't get to it, neither can she, because of some good old foresight of our divine patrons. So, she wants us to go in there and get whatever's in there.
Tough shit. Why would we go in there for her?
Exactly. We're not going to go in there for her. We're going to go in there for ourselves.
I'm sorry, what?
But going in there for ourselves is going in there for her. You don't think she's gonna be waiting outside when we get done?
We'll kill her. We
Why don't
almost did
kill
it
her
before. Because she may know something we need to know about getting in there and getting whatever's in there. But I do know if she doesn't have us do it, she will eventually find someone to go in and get that for her. I would rather it be in our hands than hers. Also, she's going to go kill whatever creature was in that cave and let us know the location of Bardolphus.
Why don't we just go up to the mountain, kill her, and then leave, and not go into a place that's protected from evil things?
Because maybe something that's in there will help us fight the evil things. And plus, we'll get to know where Rodolphus and the cultists are.
I'm feeling like this is gonna backfire in a huge way.
And what does she get out of this?
Well, she says she gets the item, but we're obviously not going to let her have the item.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that idea of going back up to the mountains relatively soon into my to-do later list.
Here's the
I
thing.
have a
told
big
her
sign
we
that
would-
says "Big fucking trap."
Well, see, here's the thing. I already kind of told her that we would do it and made a deal.
What?
Okay.
That's a bad word.
So we'll put that on our we will do list, but at the very bottom.
It was kind of like after we're done here in Forge Hearth, we'd head there.
What were
Oh.
you thinking?
Are
A
we allowed
deal?
to take detours?
I didn't stipulate we couldn't.
Fantastic. We're gonna do a giant loop through the rest of the continent,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
end up back there.
That's what I was thinking. We'd head from here to Fantalusia, and then from Fantalusia back down, and just complete our circle that way back. And after we're done there, and kill Becky and take whatever it is that she wanted to have, and we keep it safe. We can stop back by the Druidic Alliance and maybe take a crack at trying to do something with that tree.
I do guess we do have towards Hexto rather sooner than later.
So are we
So-
fixing the tree before we get rid of the giant elf dude south here?
Oh yeah. That's if we're going in circles. That's at least like a half a circle away from the Druidic Alliance. So that's definitely a lot farther in the future.
Got it. Before we take care of the giant elf guy, we're gonna take care of the barrier, which is keeping Silverheart from getting in.
Correct.
So I can.
That's part of the circle, right?
Correct. And
Got
maybe if we time it just perfectly, we could have his armor sitting on the other side of the barrier, all nice and shined and ding-freed and repaired, and maybe sort of emblazon his name on it.
No modifications to it.
Do we have Do we have to give him back his bag of holding?
I'm gonna assume yes.
I really grown attached to it.
Well, I mean, with the dome down, we could probably requisition our own. I'm sure, if Kinley went and batted her eyes at Grandpa about how we need a bag of holding, we'd probably get one.
Mm.
Can you do that for us, Kinley?
Well, I mean, I have one, so.
Yeah, but it's not like Silverheart's bag of holding, you know, man?
Yeah.
Well, we're not asking my grandfather's not gonna get his Silverheart's bag of holding either.
Well, what about a new bag of holding for Silverheart so we can keep this one? It has special meaning to us now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's been with us for our journey.
I'd rather
It's a
give
sentimental bag of holding now.
I'd rather give back everything that we owe to Silverheart.
Well,
Do you think he got his shield back?
well, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
a problem getting it back across the ocean to get to here, so...
Unless they
Probably.
can send it back somehow after years.
Oh, well, yeah,
Maybe
that's true too. But I do understand Lucy wanting to get everything, back there in its unchanged condition, considering, she stole his armor and wore it and all.
She's gonna raise her brow at that. Ah, yes. Whose brilliant idea was it? I
thought
should have
this-
just let Finnegan keep my badge and get violently shocked by it.
What are you talking about? It would have ended up in the shield with my badge.
Oh, that's true too.
But that's how Finnegan rolls. That badge would have gone right in next to his. Like, oh look, now that's a matching set.
I need more. Can I have everyone?
Oh, look, we're here.
So you show up at the Marselheim embassy. Things have kind of wound down for the day at this point. There's still a receptionist at the desk who greets you somewhat expectantly. There's a bit of like you're the group we're expecting.
We are.
We are.
That we are.
Could you confirm that for me, please? It's kind of like
I'll show my
So,
badge.
so our badge.
Lucy will show the badge.
I am
Fan-
Finnegan.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. We are most happy to have you here in UMLOT and within the Marselheim embassy. I'm afraid you didn't arrive quite as early as we were hoping you would. So most
Sheep.
of
There was she.
A lot of sheep.
Are you saying we're a day late?
and a dollar.
Short.
Yes, the
Uh,
shepherds were moving the flocks and it blocked the road, so we would have been here more hastily.
We
Oh.
also rescued children on the way, so that might explain
Yes.
it.
Some enslaved children and a couple of kidnappers. We righted those wrongs, returned the children to the embassy for Forge Hearth, and submitted the criminals for punishment.
Oh my! Sounds like you had a bit of an adventure on your way here. Jeez.
Yeah.
Even had time to stop by and help a little old lady with some of her problems.
Doing your good deeds for the day, I suppose.
It's the
Um,
gods' work, yes.
Well, our ambassador would very much like to meet with you tomorrow morning. They've gone home for the day. They weren't sure if you were going to just camp out on the road and not arrive until tomorrow. But I have been instructed to set you up with lodging here if you would like. You may also make your own arrangements, but we can provide lodging for you while you're here.
I will definitely take some lodging here.
Most
Okay.
definitely. And I'm going to kind of turn to the others and kind of whisper outside of my mouth. See? If we were treated like this everywhere we went, there would never be a problem.
Lucy rolls her eyes on
Well,
that.
I mean, this is the.
So she slides over a ring of keys and a map that directs you through the streets to a house. They've essentially like set you up with like a townhouse for while you're here.
Very nice. Very nice. Alright, now just grab the map and the keys.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for the accommodations. We appreciate it. I guess we will talk to the ambassador tomorrow.
Have
Oh,
a
by the
have a
way-
good rest.
What's the ambassador's name?
The ambassador's name. Let me switch over to that.
You're going
Got
too
him!
fast, damn it.
Nope. The ambassador's name is
Rebecca.
No.
Richard.
The ambassador's name for Marcelheim is Ashling. I'm gonna drop it in chat for you. It's Ashling, like
Ashlyn, but with a. Oh, nope, not even. Nope, not what I was thinking.
not what you were thinking.
That is what I got though.
Yeah, there you go. On top of it.
It's like tiefling with open ass.
I should probably get in the habit of doing that, dropping it in Twitch chat too, so people know what we're spelling behind the scenes here. Not that any of them probably care that much about how to spell somebody's name, but so that is the ambassador that you'll be meeting with tomorrow, if or should you choose to come back for that meeting, and
We're out.
otherwise you can go ahead and settle in for the night. You kind of
Lucy
do a once
will-
over the place.
Definitely going to settle in.
Try to find a place to post another letter to our parents.
On the way to the house, Shelly's going to be like, actually, guys, as much as I love, hanging out with you guys and everything, I'm feeling really kind of homesick. I think I might go find someplace over in the other part of the town to stay tonight.
All right, we'll see you at the Universal meeting place in the morning.
We'll see you at the embassy in the morning. Yes.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
Head shake.
you too.
So yeah, if you mention that you're looking for a place to send a letter to the receptionist at the embassy, she'd let you know that they can add it to their outgoing mail as long as it's within the confines of the dome. Unfortunately, anything
Lucy-
beyond that,
Lucy would tell her that it is for Hexto.
oh yes, that we can still accommodate.
Good.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get some mail outside of the dome too soon, right? Kind of gives you like a.
We're working on it.
Yep. Zara will go settle in and just sort of take a bath, a nice,
Yep.
long, hot bath, and then just sort of slither into his comfortable bed.
Yep, I will.
Yes.
We make our way to the house, settle in, get cleaned up, make a nice big dinner, and then go to bed.
Okay. Shelly, so you were gonna kind of work your way around to the Verolk
Yeah.
part of town. So you get over there, and it starkly reminds you of home. Like, if you had fallen asleep and woken up here, you'd think you were on the other side of the dome, kind of thing. Like, the architecture is just screams home to you. It's very like tropical climate, so it's very kind of like well ventilated, loose open air kind of design. It's not that like heavy stone that a lot of the other architectures themed off of. You notice that they've sort of made like an architectural homage almost to home, in that the pathway leading up to the embassy is a small sort of body of water, like a pool of water with little stones dotted about that sort of match the layout of the islands in the archipelago. So you sort of like step from stone to stone to get across this little pool of water, and you just kind of like, oh, I know that island. Oh, I kind of know that one. I know
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. I love it.
It's just they're a little bit, their way of kind of like bringing home with them a bit is to just sort of have that leading up there. So you find the embassy is relatively shut down as well. They've all kind of packed up for the night. There's still a receptionist on duty who can point you in a direction of a couple of like B&B in things that you can check into that way. To spend the night. They're relatively inexpensive, just like a couple of silver for a bed for the night kind of a deal. And but you can find that without too much difficulty.
That's all I'm looking for.
Anything else from anyone else before you go to bed for the night, or are you gonna boom,
That's
and wake
it.
up?
Oh, Finnegan's just gonna brood and contemplate things.
Fair enough. So you go to bed, get a good night's rest, wake up the next day feeling refreshed and leveled to 6.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Ding.
Oh
Ding.
You know, play the- Yeah, that's the one. That's like your alarm clock going off in the morning. You're like, God, I don't hear that sound anywhere near often enough. But that is, you wake up, feeling kind of rejuvenated and energized a little more than you were the day before.
well, I would definitely make a big meaty breakfast.
Yep, we definitely have a good breakfast tonight.
Okay. Now, is there anything vaguely side questy that anyone wants to take care of before going to meet with the ambassador?
What I want would take too long to do because investigating the whole making the ammo and special ammo and stuff.
Mhm.
That would take too long right now.
And mine was to either make a weapon or binding that I can snap onto Becky when the time is right.
You guys are so neat. She extended an olive branch of peace, and you're just planning to manacle her at first hand.
Yeah, an olive branch to free more demons.
And an olive branch to help her break out the demon queen. So yeah.
That is an assumption that you are making. That is not.
She said it to me.
That is not what she said.
She said to free some friends, which would be more demons.
No, she said you were gonna free some people.
Prisoners.
From prisoners.
Yeah, but the
Sorry,
way
from
she said-
prisoners.
Oh my God, Becky is the leader of a counter faction to the demon queen.
Oh shit, that'd be cool.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I don't think she's that powerful.
But no, I don't have anything. Did I ever get anything back from Solon for my message to him?
I will have to write that.
Okay.
Rolled through. I need to go back and read it and think it through, and I'll let you know.
Okay. Then I have nothing.
Never have anything.
Don't say never.
Hey, I'm simple unless I'm role playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. I feel like that would probably be okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so if there isn't any other kind of like side questy bits that you want to knock out before going to meet with the ambassador, we'll go ahead and call it a night here. And we'll pick up with you like walking in the front door of the Marselheim embassy, and that'll be how we kick things off next week. We'll have that conversation, and then you can roll through the rest of town, kicking shit over and causing trouble as you tend to do.
You guys ready to see Czar get arrested by the Empire?
Oh God.
Now that you mention
Jesus.
it, that is an excellent point.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, so if everyone's good with that, we'll call it a night here. Thank you to my players and to anyone who's still watching. As always, I hope everyone had a good time, and we'll see everybody next week. We have Wednesday night campaign, Friday night, Saturday morning.
Wednesdays is not happening for a while. They need
Okay.
a player. So if you're looking to play in Ravnica in a strange and unusual world with strange and unusual rules, with strange and unusual characters, hit up Selthor on Roll Society Discord.
But so definitely do that. But there's still Friday night, which is a new campaign that they just spun up, which sounds like it's a good bit of fun. Saturday morning, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, evening. Is that right?
Sunday evening, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll roll back around to us on Tuesday. So be sure to check out some of those other campaigns. People are running some real fun stuff. It's not as great as ours, but I'm biased.
Never as great as ours.
But yeah, so thanks everybody, and we'll. Are we hosting some or jumping over to somebody or rating? What's rating?
I don't know. Are we hosting anybody?
I will
Yeah,
learn lingo eventually.
We're gonna raid Lil Wooly.
Lil Wooly.
Wole.
But that goes off in like 5 seconds. So everybody stay safe.
Right.
Yourselves, your families, and stay frosty. And where you are out.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.